baseball fans. This is Waite Hoyt with Bob Wolff. In a few minutes, the New York Yankees and the Cincinnati Reds will be at it in the third game of this 1961 World Series.
Brought to you by Gillette, maker of the 195 adjustable razor, and the remarkable Super Blue blade that gives all but unbelievable shaving comfort. Foamy, the cream of all instant lather. And Right Guard, the new power spray deodorant for men.
And Chrysler Corporation, where engineering puts something extra into every car. Chrysler Corporation, with the live new cars for 62.
To thank you for using their products, Gillette and Chrysler will also present the 1962 Rose Bowl game over most of these same stations. The 1961 World Series has arrived in Cincinnati, and as a matter of fact, it arrived by car, plane, railroad, and bus in sections. The vanguard arrived from New York following Thursday's games. Fans and press and radio and TV, magazine and movies and news representatives have been arriving from home and abroad ever since. And this afternoon here as the World Series opened for the first time in 21 years, it is just a gorgeous day, a really tremendous day. And not a cloud in the sky, warm, delightful, and the city is very, very excited. This broadcast is authorized under broadcasting rights granted by the Commissioner of Baseball solely for the entertainment of our listening audience, and any publication, rebroadcast, or other use of the description and accounts of this game without the express consent of the Commissioner is prohibited. Yes, indeed, today's game is to be played right here at Crosley Field, which has been the home of the Cincinnati Reds for as long as the oldest citizen can remember. The field itself here at Crosley has undergone various changes. At one time, the batters batted toward the home plate instead of away from it. And speaking of the home plate, it was once located some 20 to 30 feet directly to the rear of its present site. It has been gradually moved forward as the necessity for more seating capacity has increased. There have been but 3 modern World Series played here. This is the 4th. The disastrous World Series of 1919, then the second one against the Yankees in 1939, with unfortunate results for Cincinnati, and the third one, the 1940 series, when the Reds defeated the Detroit Tigers in 7 games. A series which, by the way, saw Freddie Hutchinson, the present Cincinnati manager, pitching for Detroit. So 21 years have passed since Crosley Field has been gaily dressed. 21 years since pennant fever gripped this Ohio River city. 21 years of pennant famine. And now the Queen City, as Cincinnati is called, has responded to their National League champions with an intensity which beggars description. The New York Yankees, on the other hand, have, as American League champions, and very often during that time, been virtual tourists, traveling to St. Louis, Milwaukee, Brooklyn, Pittsburgh, Philadelphia to play World Series. All of the National League to either win or lose in the Classic. And today's game is the third in this series, and each team has won one game in which each team has demonstrated reasons why they are champions. Wednesday with the talented left-hander Waite Ford, supported by 2 home runs, Howard's and Skowron's, and great defense by Clete Boyer. The Yankees were strictly Major League Baseball at its best. The Cincinnati Reds came driving back on Thursday to take advantage of the breaks. They gave Joey J 6 runs, with Coleman supplying a home run punch and Jay holding the Yankees to 4 hits. The same totals for the Reds of 6 runs on Wednesday would have made Jimmy O'Toole a winner on Tuesday. 6 runs on Thursday would have made O'Toole a winner on Wednesday. Jim pitched fine ball, but he was slightly outpitched by 4. The Reds so far have outscored the Yankees 8 runs to 4 and have out-hit the Yankees 11 runs to 10. Boyer has played brilliantly for the Yankees, and Eddie Kasko and Elio Chacón have sparkled for Cincinnati. Today it comes down to a battle of 2 right-handers, as Bob Purkey, the knuckleboard artist and winner of 16 games, will pitch for the Reds, while Bill Stafford is slated for the Yankees. Stafford relies on low stuff, curves, sliders, and so forth. We'll talk more about those in just a moment. Friends, when you give your United Community Campaign, the entire life of your community is affected for the better. Needy families are aided, recreation supplied for both young and old, help is provided for children and teenagers, many health services aid the aged and the handicapped, Our armed forces and veterans are assisted. The United Way means one more campaign for many health and welfare services. So give the United Way. You'll feel better. Your community will be better because of it. Of course, the big news of today is that the Yankees' famous center fielder Mickey Mantle is to return to the lineup. Mickey Mantle will be playing for the Yankees, and he will be batting fourth. And, of course, a man such as Mantle, who has been a great ball player, who batted .317 with 128 runs batted in and 54 home runs, second only to Roger Maris in the American League, must make a big difference in the psychological effect of the New York Yankees, and also might have some effect on the Cincinnati Reds. But his presence in the lineup, of course, is bound to have an increased determination on the part of the fine New York Yankees. We said we were going to talk about a little bit about Purkey. Purkey will pitch for the Reds as a butterfly knuckleball, somewhat similar to that of Hoyt Wilhelm of Baltimore. It is difficult to hit and almost as difficult to catch. Willie Mays, for instance, went all the way to second base after striking out swinging at Purkey's knuckleball, which wound up as a pass ball against the backstop. Purkey is from Pittsburgh, traded here from his own hometown a few years ago. He's a right-hander, tall, intelligent, clean-cut, and a gentleman. He's a clutch pitcher. He has beaten the top clubs in the National League, such as Los Angeles and Milwaukee, when the Reds needed the victories the most. Bill Stafford is a 23-year-old right-hander for the New York Yankees. He was born in Catskill, New York, up there near Albany. He now lives in Petersburg, Virginia. As I said, he's a right-hander, and in 1961, Stafford won 14 and lost 9. He uses that slider with great effect. He's not afraid to throw breaking stuff when the count is against him, sort of 2 balls and no strikes, or 3 balls and no strikes. And he has a lot of confidence in himself. He lost 5 games this season by 1 run, low-score games. And Casey Stengel has credited Stafford with getting the Yanks on the final road to the pennant back in 1960. A very, very confident young man, so it promises to be a good pitcher's battle. Right now, the Cincinnati Reds and the New York Yankees are lining up along the foul lines. The Yankees lining up right along the first baseline to the right of home plate, and the Reds have lined up right along the third baseline to the left of home plate. A band is proceeding to the just in front of the backstop and near the microphone located some 30 feet behind home plate. In a few moments, there'll be a moment of silence in memory of Powell Crosley Jr., the former president of the Reds, who passed away in March of this year. And then there'll be the raising of the colors by the Combined Military Color Guard under the direction of Captain Jim Wall of the United States Air Force. And Marion Spellman and Bob Braun will sing the national anthem when time for that arrives. I see they're at the microphone at the present time. Now the moment of silence for Powell Crosley Jr. top hitters in the series so far are Bobby Richardson of the New York Yankees and Edwards of the Cincinnati Reds. We'll speak a little more about those in just a moment, as the third game of the 1961 World Series is being brought to you from Crosley Field in Cincinnati. Yes, those two boys, Richardson of the Yankees and Edwards of the Reds, are batting .500. The highest batting average for a single World Series? Well, on page 28 of the Gillette World Series Encyclopedia, you'll find Babe Ruth batted a fantastic .625 back in 1928. Man, I'll tell you, this Gillette book is worth owning. Contains World Series records, humorous drawings by cartoonist Willard Mullen, bright and authoritatively written history of the World Series, every fact and record in the $5 book. This pocket size is just a Gillette exclusive. You can't buy it anywhere, but it's yours free with the $1.95 Gillette adjustable razor at the regular price of $1.95. The adjustable is the razor that you set to suit your own combination of skin and beard. With it, you get a dispenser of those remarkable Super Blue Blades. Get your free Gillette World Series Encyclopedia with razor set for only $1.95. We'll pause here 10 seconds for station identification.
Are you mixing with the best? Saratoga Vichy with the yellow label. It outsells all the rest. The genuine Vichy with the yellow label. Taste better tonight. Feel better tomorrow. Saratoga with the yellow label.
At the game, at your favorite eating place, or at home with friends, you're always sure you're mixing with the best with Saratoga Vichy.
Switch hitter, he'll bat left-handed today against Purkey. Mickey Mantle, who missed the first two games of the series because of injury, will be in center field batting fourth. Yogi Berra, the left fielder, batting fifth. Elston Howard, catching, batting sixth. Bill Skowron, the first baseman, batting seventh. Cleet Boyer, at third base, batting eighth. Bill Stafford, Stafford. Bill Stafford, the pitcher, who has won 14 games and lost 9, will do the pitching for the Yankees. For the Cincinnati Reds, Elio Chacón, second baseman, is the leadoff batter. Eddie Kasko, the shortstop, is batting second. Vada Pinson, the center fielder, is batting third. Frankie Robinson in right field today. Batting fourth. Gordy Coleman, the first baseman, batting fifth, bats left-handed. Wally Post, the left fielder, the right-handed hitting left fielder, will bat sixth. Post is batting sixth. Gene Freese, the third baseman, who bats right-handed, is batting seventh. Johnny Edwards, catching, who bats left-handed, is batting eighth. And Bob Purkey, the knuckleball artist and right-hander, will be the pitcher for the Cincinnati Reds. He has won 16 and lost 12. The home plate umpire calling the balls and strikes, Frank Umont, U-M-O-N-T, behind the home plate. Augie Donatelli of the National League at first base. Ed Runge of the American League at second base. Jocko Conlon of the National League will umpire third base. Shag Crawford of the National League is down the left field line, and Bob Stewart of the American League is down the right field line. And so the Cincinnati Reds are taking the field. And my colleague, Bob Wolff, who does such a magnificent job of broadcasting for the Minnesota Twins, will start the ball game. Bob, it's all yours.
Thank you, Hoyt. Hi, everybody. What a glorious day for this game this afternoon. The weatherman has certainly cooperated. A most enthusiastic crowd here in Cincinnati. Crosley Field is just jam-packed as we get set for the first pitch of the afternoon. And there goes Bob Purkey on the way out to the mound. Bob Purkey, 32 years old, a knuckleball pitcher. This past season, his record 16 victories and 12 defeats with a 3.72 earned run average. He had 13 complete games this season. He has had previous experience with the Pittsburgh team. He was traded to the Reds before the 1958 season, and he proved to be one of their greatest acquisitions. In 4 seasons at Cincinnati, Purkey has won 63 games, 17, 13, 17, and now 16. He started the 1961 All-Star game for the National League at Boston, and Purkey is out there now warming up with Bruce Edwards, with Johnny Edwards. And Edwards, incidentally, is the gentleman who came through in such a clutch performance against the New York Yankees at Yankee Stadium in the last game played there with 2 hits. And in both cases, it came after he was intentionally brought up to the plate. The preceding batter Freeze had been intentionally walked. Purkey, by the way, was speaking to me just before the ball game. I took a look at his fingers, his fingernails, and I noticed that they were very short. And Bob told me that the reason for this is that he actually likes to have fingertip control of the ball. He likes to feel it go off his fingertips, and so has his nails cut very short. He pitches off that first knuckle, as the knuckleball pitches do. It's actually more of a fingertip ball, and the knuckleball occupies his pitching, sometimes over 50% of the pitches that he throws up. Bobby Richardson, who was 4 for 8 for the New York Yankees in this World Series, steps in. Stocky, right-handed batter, all set to face Bob Purkey, and the first pitch is just about to get on the way. Purkey looks in to get the sign from Johnny Edwards. The outfield plays Richardson slightly around to the left. Here's the pitch. Swung on. It's a ground ball going out to Kasko. Shuts up with it. Throw to first. 1 away. That brings up Tony Kubek, who is 1 for 7 in the series, a left-handed batter. And incidentally, just as soon as we have a moment or two, I'd like to describe this ballpark for you rather fully, because it does have its tricky spots, particularly in left field. And I might say also it's a strong sun beating down on this beautiful afternoon, which will give all of the outfielders difficulties. The pitch to Kubek is over for a called strike 1. He'll be followed by Roger Maris, and Mickey Mantle is in that number 4 slot in the batting order. Yesterday afternoon, the Yankees working out here, they had a whole brigade of men trying it in left field to get used to the tricky mannerisms of an incline which goes up toward the fence there. The pitch is wide in the count now, 1-1 to Tony Kubek. There's 1 away. We're in the top of the first inning. Bob Purkey on the mound. Johnny Edwards doing the receiving. Gene Freeze is at third. Eddie Kasko at short. Elio Chacón at second. And Gordy Coleman at first base. Post is in left. Pinson center. Robinson in right. All set to go now. The count is 1-1. Purkey winds. The pitch to Kubek. Swung on and fouled back behind home plate. And as you can hear from this crowd here, they're roaring with every pitch. It's been a long time since they've seen a World Series here in Cincinnati, and they're taking advantage of this opportunity to cheer and cheer often. 21 years since the crowds converged on this ballpark here in Cincinnati. And the last series game here was October 8, 1940. The Reds, behind Paul Derringer's 7-hit pitching, beat Detroit 2-1 to win the World Series in 7 games. The count is ball 1, strike 2 to Kubek. 1 away, top of the first. Kubek digs in waiting. Purkey starts the windup. Here's the right-hander's pitch. The knuckler is wide, and it's off Edwards' mitt, rolling back about 30 feet or so behind home plate. 2-2. Edwards has earned the right to be in this game because of his fine clutch hitting against the New York Yankees. However, he'd be in there regardless this afternoon because of the fact that he does a particularly good job at holding on to the knuckleball, a very tricky pitch to latch onto. Ready now for the 2-2 pitch to Kubek. Here it comes, and there's a slow grounder going out to Chacón. He comes in, scoops it up, puts it at first for the out. Maris steps up with 2 away in the top of the first, and Maris is 0 for 7. So Roger Maris, a left-handed batter, steps up now. Purkey looks in to get the sign. And we're all set for Maris to bat. Here's the windup, and the pitch to Maris. Swung on, it's a pop-up. Third baseman Freeze. Waiting, and he has it. the first inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left. And the score after one half inning. The Yankees nothing, and the Reds are coming up. Yes, sir, they're yelling here in Cincinnati. It's sure a baseball wild town. It's also a red-hot Gillette town. And how they go for that Gillette foamy instant lather. The same is true all over. Today, foamy is the fastest-growing instant lather in the country. Have you tried it? It's a world of speed and convenience. All it takes with foamy is a touch of the nozzle, and you have rich, creamy lather right at your fingertips. Full-bodied lather that keeps your beard drenched through the whole shave. Your razor glides easily, leaves you feeling clean and refreshed. Is it any wonder that foamy with K34 antiseptic is the fastest-growing instant lather of them all? So start the day with a cool, refreshing lift. Give yourself a Gillette foamy shave. Regular size, just 79 cents. Giant economy size holds almost twice as much, only 98 cents. With the extra coolness of menthol added, same price. Now, while Bill Stafford is warming up, let me go over the ballpark dimensions with you. In left field, it's 328 down the line with an 18-foot wall. This is topped by a screen. Anything into the tall screen there is a home run. Moving over toward left center, there's a high scoreboard, 55 feet high. Anything up against the scoreboard is in play. Going to straightaway center field, it's 387. And slightly over toward right center, it's 390. From the 390 point to the right field line, the screen there that has to be cleared for a home run is 9 feet high. It's 366 down the right field line. And from the home plate to the backstop behind home plate, it's 78 feet. It's quite a bit of room there. There's an incline starting about 25 feet from the left field wall, gradation of about 6 feet going up there. And there's also a slight incline in right. Here's Elio Chacón, and the first pitch called strike one from Bill Stafford. Chacón is 1 for 4, and he has sparkled the field. A right-handed batter playing second base. He'll be followed by Eddie Kasko. Stafford winds. Here's the right-hander's next pitch, and it's inside, moving Chacón back from the plate, and the count now is 1-1. Yesterday, in the fielding drills out here, Yogi Berra was testing that left field area. Here's the 1-1 pitch to Chacón. He takes a strike, a letter-high pitch on the inside corner, and the count now is ball 1, strike 2. And Berra said just this morning to me that they talk a lot about how tough it is to play left field in New York City, but believe me, said Yogi, I find it tougher with the sun here in Cincinnati, with that grade to go up. If the ball hits the wall and bounces back, it comes back with a tremendous rebound. Here's the 1-2 pitch. It's a strike called on the outside corner. Chacón started to go for it, held back slightly, and the ball broke for the curve strike 3. So Chacón is out on a strikeout. That means there's one away in the bottom of the first inning as Eddie Kasko, who is 2 for 9, steps in now. He too has done a tremendous defensive job. A right-handed batter facing Bill Stafford. Stafford is a fine curveball among his other assortment. The right-hander winds. Here's the pitch to Kasko, and there's a line shot to center field for a base hit. Fielded by Mantle, and Kasko was on with a single to center field. Eddie Kasko, who had the first hit of the World Series in Yankee Stadium, now has the first hit here in Cincinnati. And the batter is left-handed swinging, Vada Pinson. Boyer starts coming in just a bit. The pitch swung on. There's a fly ball going to left center field. Mantle is moving for it. So is Berra, and it is Mantle making the catch. Pinson flying out to Mantle. They're 2 away. Kasko on first. And here's big Frank Robinson, who is 0 for 6 so far in the series. A power hitter stepping up to face Bill Stafford. Stafford is 23 years old, 6 feet 1, 183. This past season he won 14 and lost 9 with a 2.68 earned run average. Among the Yankee starters, he had the best earned run average. Robinson steps in now to face him. Big Frank Robinson, who had 37 homers this past season and 124 RBIs. On first base, it's Eddie Kasko. Stafford's first pitch, swung on. It's a high fly, foul. Going toward the seats is Boyer, giving up the chase as the ball is into the left field seats out of play. We're in the bottom half of inning number 1, and there's no score in the ball game. Kasko on first, there are 2 away. Robinson at the plate. Although this is Stafford's first full major league season, he's already a World Series veteran. Twice he relieved in 1960 against the Pirates. He had no decisions, but did register a 1.50 earned run average. Robinson waiting. Count, strike 1. There's a throw over to first base by Stafford, and Kasko is back at the bag. 2 outs. Robinson, who stands close to the plate, looks out of the mound. Stafford with the stretch, the pause. Here's the pitch, and it's a strike call on the inside corner of the count. Now strike 2 to Frank Robinson. As Robinson stoops over, gets a bit of dirt. Beautiful, sunshiny, warm afternoon here in Cincinnati for this 3rd game. Both teams have won 1 game so far in this World Series. Kasko is on first. There are 2 outs. The count now, strike 2 to Frank Robinson. The pitch is swung on and missed as Stafford curved Robinson for the strikeout to retire the side. And so in the bottom half of the first inning, the total show, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 man is left. And the score at the end of 1 full inning, New York nothing, Cincinnati nothing.
Back for Sharpino, back. He makes a one-handed catch against the bullpen.
You heard right. It's the 47 Series and Joe DiMaggio coming to bat. Remember what happened? Listen to the actual play-by-play.
Joe DiMaggio up, and the crowd well knows that one swing of this bat, this fellow's capable of making it a brand new game again. Here's the pitch. Swung on, belted. It's a long one. Deep to left center. Back for Sharpino. Back. He makes a one-handed catch against the bullpen. Oh, doctor.
The great series plays are yours to live and relive on the pages of the Gillette World Series Encyclopedia. Yours free with the purchase of the Gillette Adjustable Razor Set for only $1.95. This 256-page Gillette book contains highlights and sidelights of every series, plus practically every series fact and record. It's yours free with the Gillette Adjustable Razor and a dispenser of those amazingly comfortable Super Blue Blades. All for the price of the razor set alone, just $1.95.
Here now is the second inning, and Mickey Mantle will be making his first appearance at the plate in the series. Manager Freddie Hutchinson of Cincinnati made the fine statement that he would hope that Mantle could get into action just as soon as possible. He said that he wanted to see his Reds play the very best team in the series. He felt that was as it should be, and he wanted to see the fans see the very best all the way through. And here is Mantle, a switch hitter batting left-handed against the right-hander Bob Purkey. Mickey had a .317 average this past season. He takes a called strike on the outside corner. Mantle lashed out 54 home runs this past year and 128 runs batted in. And Mickey has hit 14 World Series home runs, more than any other player other than Babe Ruth, who had 15. In batting practice yesterday, Mickey had 6 batting practice home runs. Declared himself set for action today. Strike 1 to Mantle leading off the second. Purkey's pitch, the knuckler, is wide of the plate. And the count now is 1-1 to Mantle. Purkey back to the rosin bag. The outfield, not too pronounced a shift for Mantle. Just a slight swing to the right, not too far. The infield just slightly over, although Coleman has gone closer to the line behind first base. Count now is 1-1 to Mantle. Purkey starts the windup. The right-hander's next offering on the way is inside, moving Mantle back from the plate. Ball 2 and strike 1. Robinson is playing right field here in Cincinnati and post in left field. Right field is more spacious, although perhaps not quite as tricky. Mantle the batter, the count now is 2 balls, strike 1. Here's Purkey's next offering. Mantle swings, sends a fly ball out to short left center. Pinson comes in and has it for the out. Kasko was going back. Post was coming over, but it was Pinson's ball all the way. Although Vada seemed to start first in and then moved a little bit toward his right. I think that out there this afternoon, you'll find that sometimes the defensive men take the ball at a different angle that they might ordinarily to try to avoid those very sharp rays of the sun, which makes it most difficult indeed. So Mantle, on his first appearance, is flied out to Pinson on left center. Here's Yogi Berra, who is 2 for 6, including 2 RBIs. There's a called strike. Strike 1 to Yogi Berra. Berra got both of his 2 runs batted in as home run, which accounted for the Yankees' 2 runs in their 6-2 loss to Cincinnati. And incidentally, so far in the series, all of the Yankee runs, and they have but 4, are as a result of home runs. Strike 1 to Yogi Berra. Something was flying around near home plate, some little bug or perhaps a little insect of some type. Berra stepped out for a moment. The pitch, and it's inside. The count now is 1-1 to Berra, to be followed by Elston Howard. 1 out on the top of the second. There's no score. New York nothing and Cincinnati nothing. A packed house here at Crosley Field. Now the side from Johnny Edwards. Purkey all set to work. Berra waiting. And the 1-1 pitch about to come up. Score, 0-0. We're in the top of the second. There's 1 out. Purkey delivers, and he comes in too tight and low. And the count now is ball 2 and strike 1 to Berra. Elston Howard will follow. Reds, defensively, have started 2 reserves who were stars of their last game in New York. Elio Chacón and Johnny Edwards. Now we're set to go. The count 2-1 to Yogi Berra. Here's the windup by Purkey. The next pitch is inside a knuckler. It goes right by the catcher. Back to the screen. On the count now is 3-1 to Berra, who steps into the batter's box for a moment. Now a step back in. 366 down that right field line with a 9-foot fence to clear there. And beyond that fence, we have the beautiful sun deck here in Crosley Field. The bleacher seats, as they are designated. Now we're set for that 3-1 pitch to Berra. Here it comes, and it is wide as Berra draws a walk and becomes the first Yankee base runner. And that brings up Elston Howard, who has 1 for 7. His 1 hit being a home run. He has 1 RBI, and he is a right-handed batter. It's 328 down the left field line. 378 to where the big scoreboard begins, and there's an 18-foot wall in left. Elston Howard steps in now to face Bob Purkey with 1 out and 1 on, as Kasko and Chacón now play at double play depth. We're in the top of the second, no score. A look toward first toward Berra, and the pitch to Howard is a strike in the inside corner. That's strike 1 to Elston Howard. It's interesting to note that the roommate of Joey J, already a winner in the series, is the man on the mound right now, Bob Purkey. So they've got a lot to talk over. Count now is strike 1 to Elston Howard. Berra takes a very slim lead off first, draws a look from Purkey. The pitch to Howard is swung on, and there's a pop-up. Chacón, shielding his eyes from the sun, drifts back into short right and takes it there. And 2 down with Berra on first, and here is Bill Skowron, who is 1 for 6. Skowron's 1 hit, also a home run. He has 1 RBI. No score, top of the second, 2 away, and Berra on first base, as Bill Skowron now steps in. The Yankees, on their home ground this season, won 65 and lost 16. But away from home, their record was considerably different. 44 wins and 37 setbacks. Let's see how they fare here against the Reds in Cincinnati's own park. Skowron waiting. Here's the pitch. It's inside. Skowron steps back. The count now is ball 1 from Bob Purkey, who takes his glove off and rubs up the ball. Skowron is a tough man to defense because he has great powerful wrists. He can hit that ball to any field and hit it even if he's fooled by a pitch. He can still whip that bat around in time to get power behind the swing. Skowron with a ball 1 count. Berra takes the lead on first. Purkey looks over. The pitch to Skowron. Swung on, and there's a ball going into right field. Robinson comes in and has it. So on the top of the second. No runs. No hits. No errors, and 1 left as Skowron flies out to Robinson to retire the side. And the score, the end of an inning and a half. Yankees nothing, Reds nothing.
Paper-made credit card contest winners now leaving for London, Paris, and other world-famous cities.
How would you like to fly anywhere, stay anywhere, dine anywhere, and just sign for it? Never get a bill. Well, the world is yours if you win the Papermate $50,000 credit card contest. You'll fly the finest on TWA Superjets, and just sign for it using your TWA Air Travel Card. You'll stay at luxury hotels like the Royal Hawaiian in Honolulu, dine at famous restaurants in Paris or Rome, and just sign for it using your Diners Club card. You'll have a car when you want it with your Hertz Rent-A-Car card. Gas when you need it with your Shell credit card. When it's time to pay, just pull out your Papermate pen and sign for it. Never get a bill. Grand prize is $10,000 in credit or cash, 500 other prizes. Get entry blanks and full contest details now, wherever Papermate pens are sold.
Bob Wolff along with Waite Hoyt here in Crosley Field, Cincinnati, where there is no score as we move to the bottom half of the second inning. And Gordy Coleman, who is 2 for 8 in the series, steps in. Coleman has 1 home run and 2 runs batted in. So Gordy Coleman, a left-handed batter, up there, no score, bottom of the second. Bill Stafford looks in to get the sign. Here's the pitch. Coleman swings, sends a ground foul outside of first base. Coleman's 4th inning home run at Yankee Stadium on Thursday was the Reds' first World Series smash since Bucky Walters cracked one off Freddie Hutchinson, then pitching for Detroit in the 6th game of the 1940 series. Coleman, the batter, will be followed by Post and Freeze. Stafford is a rather fast worker, doesn't waste too much time after getting the sign from Howard. Here's the next pitch to Coleman. And there's a hard grounder deflected off Stafford's glove, picked up by Kubek. No throw. Coleman is safe. A base hit, ruled by the official score, as Coleman sent a hard grounder off Stafford's glove. The ball rolled over on the right side of second base. Kubek, who was moving on the play, picked up the ball over on the Bobby Richardson side of the bag, but it was too late then to make any play to first, and Coleman is on with an infield hit. That brings up Wally Post, who's been hot so far in the series with 3 for 7. A long ball hitting left fielder. Here's the pitch, and there's a fly ball going out to right center field. Moving forward is Maris, so is Mantle. Maris calls and takes it. The right fielder taking it in at right center field. There's 1 out and 1 on. Gene Freeze, a pronounced pull hitter, who is 0 for 5 in the series, playing third base, steps up. No score, we're in the bottom of the second. Coleman on first, and there's 1 away. Now Freeze steps in. Hoyt, the third baseman, moves just a bit closer to that line. There's a stretch in the pause by Stafford. The pitch is a little high, and the count now is ball 1 to Gene Freeze. Very little breeze this afternoon. Perfect afternoon for baseball. No score, bottom of the second inning. Coleman on first, and there's 1 away. Freeze the batter with a ball 1 count. The pitch swung on and fouled back behind home plate. The count now is 1-1. One further note about that wall out there, left and in center. It's a cement wall painted green, and anything that's up against it has a strong rebound. Close to the bottom of the wall, a few feet up, there's a little wedge and a pipe going along there, which has sort of freak rebounds if a ball's hit against that. There's a pitch inside for a ball. 2 balls, strike 1. Freeze at the plate. Johnny Edwards on deck. There have been 2 hits so far this afternoon, and the Reds have both of them. Singles by Kasko and by Coleman. The Yankee infield is playing Freeze as a pull hitter with Kubek far over in the hole. Ready for the next pitch. Here it comes, and there's a foul dribbling just off to the right of home plate. Count now is 2-2 to Gene Freeze. Bill Skowron goes over to pick up that foul ball. Tosses it off to the side. Now jogs back to his position. Frank Dumont is calling at the plate this afternoon with Donatelli, the ump at first, Runge at second, Conlon at third base. Crawford along the left field line, and Stewart along the right field line. And Stafford is getting another baseball from Frank Dumont. Right-hander comes down off the mound in just a moment, decides to rub this one up, has his glove off, giving it a good roughing treatment. While Gene Freeze, waiting just in the batter's box, hitches up the pants. Now tugs at the cap, now steps in, he's all set. As Stafford looks in now to get the sign from Howard. The count is 2-2. Coleman on first base, there's one away. No score, bottom of the second, all set to go. Here's the pitch, and it is fouled back once again. Count holds at 2-2 to Gene Freeze. Yes, so those foul balls are prized souvenirs here in this World Series. Stafford again rubbing up the new ball out there on the mound. Now the right-hander set to work. Count is 2-2 to Freeze. Yogi Berra is playing just on the slope of the incline. Here's the pitch, and there's a pitch coming in high and inside. As Freeze started to go for it, held back on the swing. On the count now is 3-2 to Freeze, who steps out now to get just a bit of dirt. The left fielder Berra, who is playing far back and left, stands sideways to home plate, facing that left field line. Now we're set for that 3-2 pitch. Freeze digs on the plate. Stafford set to work. A look toward first base. There goes Coleman. The pitch is inside. Ball 4. So with Coleman in motion on the 3-2 pitch. Pitch came in high and inside as Freeze draws a walk, putting it on first and second. And that brings up Johnny Edwards, who is 2 for 4. Strike for the first pitch to Edwards. All strike 1 to Edwards. Runners on first and second, there's one away. Edwards has 2 RBIs in the series, a left-handed batter. Here's the next pitch, and there's a ground ball going out to Skowron. He goes over, touches the bag himself for the out. He first took a look toward second, decided to make the play at first himself. He took that ground ball rather deep as he made the unassisted out. And on the play, Coleman moved to third, and Freeze in to second. So there are runners on second and third with 2 away, and the batter is the pitcher, Bob Purkey. This past season, Purkey batted 100. His records show 1 home run this past year and 4 runs batted in. He bats right as he pitches, and he comes up now with 2 runners in scoring position. Coleman on third and Freeze on second, as they both moved up on the Edwards ground out to Skowron. So here's Purkey up there right now as Stafford starts the windup, and the pitch is strike 1 called. A breaking pitch on the inside corner to Bob Purkey. Elston Howard goes out a few feet in front of the plate, smooths down a little clump of dirt that was sticking up, and now returns and crouches behind the plate. Stafford, who's just gone to the rosin bag, decides to rub up that ball just a bit. Now the right-hander peers forward to get the sign. The count is strike 1 to Purkey. Runners on third and second. All set to go. The windup by Stafford. The pitch is low. On the count now is 1-1. Purkey says that he was mighty excited about getting in the series. Lives in the Pittsburgh area. Last year saw every game in Pittsburgh, and he says he ate his heart out because he had been with the Pirates himself. Made up his mind that he was going to get in the series, and he certainly is. Here's the pitch coming up, and it's a curve for a called strike as Purkey started to move for it, held up, and Stafford elbowed one over the outside corner for a called strike 2, and the count now is ball 1, strike 2. Stafford throws a wicked curveball. Infield back, they're 2 away. Coleman is on third, Freeze on second, they're 2 down. On the count now is ball 1, strike 2 to Bob Purkey. No score, bottom of the second. Stafford starts the windup. Here comes the pitch. Strike 3 is called, and Purkey is out a breaking pitch on the inside corner this time, and the side retired. In the bottom of the second, the total show. No runs, there was 1 hit. No errors, and men left on third and second. And at the end of 2 full innings to score, the Yankees nothing and Cincinnati nothing. Well, so far in the series, Richardson has been red hot for New York. He has 4 hits. You know, Bobby holds the record for most runs batted in during the series. 12 big ones against the Pirates last year. You'll find that and plenty more in the great Gillette World Series Encyclopedia, which comes free when you buy the Gillette adjustable razor at the regular price of $1.95. Here's a book that's brimming over with fascinating facts and highlights, with humorous drawings by a famous sports cartoonist, Willard Mullen, and page after page of interesting World Series records. It's the pocket-sized Gillette edition of the $5 Encyclopedia. You can't buy it anywhere, but it's yours free with the $1.95 Gillette adjustable razor. The adjustable is the razor you set to suit your own combination of skin and beard. With it, you get a dispenser of those remarkable super blue blades for all but unbelievable shaving comfort. Get your free Gillette World Series Encyclopedia with the razor set, only $1.95. We now pause 30 seconds for station identification.
Are you mixing with the best? Saratoga Vichy with the yellow label, it outsells all the rest. The genuine Vichy with the yellow label tastes better tonight, feel better tomorrow. Saratoga with the yellow label.
Saratoga Vichy brings you all the sparkle flavor of a true champion. Make sure you're mixing with the best. Saratoga Vichy. This is WGY, WGFM Schenectady.
Scoreless ball game so far, and it's Clete Boyer who is 1 for 5, leading off against Bob Purkey. Purkey all set to work, right-hander. Boyer, right-hander at the plate. Pitch, swung on, and there's a pop-up. Going into foul territory is Coleman, the first baseman, waiting, and has it just a few feet from the coach's box. So Boyer is out on a foul out. To Gordy Coleman, there's one away, and that brings up Bill Stafford, who this past season had a 179 batting average. He had no home runs, had 3 runs batted in. He steps up now with one away in the top of the third. No score. So far, there are 2 hits in the ball game, and Cincinnati has them both. Singles by Kasko and Coleman. Now Stafford steps in with 1 out. And the outfield shifts just slightly for Stafford. They've come in shallow in center, and Robinson is playing a shallow right. He's moved closer to the right field line. Post is over in left center field. Here's the windup by Purkey. The pitch coming up to Stafford. It's over for called strike 1 on a breaking pitch. Strike 1 to Bill Stafford. Purkey all set. Gets the sign now from Edwards. Freeze, the third baseman, has moved in just a bit also, although playing behind the bag at third. The pitch, swung on, it's a one-hopper back to Purkey, and the throw to first base. That may have been a liner, I believe it was a liner back to Purkey for the out, so Stafford is out on the line out to Bob Purkey. He cocked his arm there for a moment to throw toward Coleman, and did throw to the looked toward the first baseman. I thought for a moment that ball may have skipped, but it did not. It was right on the line to Purkey, and Stafford is out. So there are 2 away in the top of the third as Richardson steps up. 2 outs, Richardson the batter. He grounded out in the first inning. Here's the windup by Purkey. The pitch to Bobby is a call strike in the inside corner. 2 outs, top of the third, and Purkey so far has let 1 New York Yankee get to base. That was Yogi Berra on a walk. Boyer out on the pop-up foul. Stafford in the line out, right back to Purkey. Richardson the batter, and the pitch is wide of the plate, and the count now is 1-1 to Bobby Richardson. The outfield for Richardson is playing just slightly toward left. Richardson, so far in the series, has 4 for 9. This year, as last year, in 1 series game, he had 3 base hits. Bobby wears number 1 on the back of his uniform. Stocky right-handed batter. The 1-1 pitch comes in low. The count now is 2 balls and a strike. 2 outs, top of the third, and there's no score on this glorious afternoon here in Cincinnati. Fans looking for a breakthrough here, and so far they have not seen any, although the Reds did have runners on third and second in the bottom of the second when Purkey was out for out number 3. Richardson waiting now with a count of 2 balls, strike 1. Purkey looks in to get the sign from Edwards. Here's the windup by the right-hander, and the pitch is swung on, a ground ball back to Purkey. They throw to first base for the out. So Purkey puts the Yankees down in order in this third. The Yankees not getting the ball out of the infield. And the score at the end of 2.5 innings. The Yankees nothing and the Reds nothing. You know, speaking of Richardson, he and Don Blasingame, who was the starting second baseman on the series for Cincinnati, are almost the same in height and weight. Another thing that both boys have in common is that they're red-hot fans of the Gillette Super Blue Blade. The way Bobby puts it is like this. The Super Blue Blade is a real beaut. I never dreamed that shaving could be so easy. Man after man, letter upon letter, say just about the same thing. The fact is, when you try the Gillette Super Blue Blade, you get shaving experience that's almost unbelievable. Shave so cool and refreshing, so quick and easy, so downright comfortable, why, I could shoot the moon about them. And they're double-edged for economy, too. Slip a Super Blue Blade into a Gillette adjustable razor and see what I'm talking about. The adjustable lets you choose exactly the edge angle and exposure that you want from 9 different settings. Right now, when you buy the adjustable, you get a dispenser of Super Blue Blades plus your free pocketbook World Series Encyclopedia, all for just $1.95. Or get Super Blue Blades and dispenser of 10 for 69 cents, 15 for $1. This, up to this point, has been strictly a defensive, a pitching battle. And with 2 hits so far in this game, the Reds can boast of them both. Kasko and Coleman both have singles. And now as we move into the bottom half of the third, Elio Chacón, who looked at a called strike 3 from Stafford back in the first inning, is jumping up for the second time. The first ball was thrown out this afternoon here at Crosley Field by Dummy Hoyt, who is the oldest living former major leaguer, 99 years old. Now here is Chacón stumping in, and so far it's a scoreless ball game. Bottom of the third, Chacón a right-handed batter. He followed by Kasko and Pinson here in the bottom of the third. Bill Stafford set to work. Here's the pitch, and there's a fly ball which is curving, and curving foul, deep outside the left field line and into the screen. A long foul by Elio Chacón. So it's a long strike 1, which has aroused the crowd. The last game in New York, Chacón hit a couple of long shots to deep left field in Yankee Stadium. Folks got to speculating whether or not they would have been homers here. The pitch to Chacón. He bunts along the first baseline. It's picked up by Stafford. Throw to first is wide. It's by Skowron. Chacón is on the way to second. He'll go into second standing up. That ball, which was outside the right field line, as Chacón is in at second base. Elio Chacón is on second, and he gets credit for a base hit and an error by Stafford. So he's in scoring position. The batter is Eddie Kasko, who is 1 for 1. Here's the pitch, and it's a called strike. Elio Chacón with a bunt along the first base line. Both Stafford and Howard went for it. Stafford picked it up, threw wild past Skowron. Chacón getting credit for a bunt single, moved to second on Stafford's throwing error. The pitch to Kasko, swung on, there's a foul, outside of first, Skowron is moving under it, near the seats, and he has it just a couple of feet from the box seats. Chacón staying at second as Skowron quickly runs that ball back to the infield. So Kasko, out number 1 on the foul out, and that brings up Vada. Pinson, has run up once and flied out to center. He'll be fouled by Frank Robinson. The Reds threatening here to break into the scoring column. In the bottom of the third inning, Pinson's run up once, he flied out to Mickey Mantle. There's a look back toward second to Chacón, the pitch, and it comes in high for ball 1 to Pinson. Ball 1 to Vada Pinson, a left-handed batter. We've already seen Chacón's speed. He scored on that pass ball in New York, a thrilling play in the World Series. The pitch, there's a ground ball going out to Richardson, moves to his right to take it, gets it over to first base for the out. as Chacón moves to third. So Pinson out number 2. Chacón is now on third. On the batter is Frank Robinson, who's been up once and has struck out. We're in the bottom of inning number 3. The Reds have a runner on third with 2 away. No score as yet in the ballgame. There have been 3 hits so far, and Cincinnati has them all. 1 error, the Yankees have committed that. As Robinson steps in, Chacón takes a big lead. The pitch, swung on, it's a fly ball going to left. It's curving, and it curves foul. A long foul to left. Robinson steps out to get some dirt. That brought the crowd to a roar. The count now is strike 1 to Robinson. Chacón on third takes a big lead off that bag. He's ready to dash, and the ball gets away from Elston Howard. And I'm sure that Howard is well aware now of Chacón's great speed and daring. Reggie Otero, the third base coach, Dick Sisler at first for Cincinnati. As Robinson steps back in, strike 1 is the count. Chacón on third, 2 away. Chacón takes his lead. Stafford winds. The pitch to Robinson. Swung on. There's a line drive to left field. It is in there for a base hit up against the face of the wall. Chacón scores. Robinson moves into second. Twisted a liner to left field, which skipped up against the face of that wall and left. Vada moved to his right, couldn't get to it. Ball was about 15 feet, perhaps more, inside that left field line. As the Reds lead by a score of 1-0. Robinson has his first hit in the series and his first RBI. He's on second. Here's Gordy Coleman at the plate. The pitch swung on and missed as Coleman was shooting for the fences that time. Starts warming up for the New York Yankees. Robinson on second. Strike 1 to Coleman. And Coleman moves back from an inside pitch. The count is 1-1. Daly, who's warming up, is a left-hander for New York. Coleman, the batter, is an infield hit to his credit. Robinson on second base. They're 2 away. The pitch. Coleman swings a ground foul outside of first base, grabbed by the first base coach, Sisler, who returns the ball to Stafford. Chacón, in this inning, came up with a bunt single. Moved to second base on Stafford's wild throw on the play. After Kasko fouled out, Chacón moved to third on Pinson's ground out, and he scored on Robinson's line shot to left, good for 2 bases. Pitch coming up now to Coleman. Count is 1-2. The pitch swung on. It's a ground ball going out to Skowron. First baseman up with it. Flips to Stafford, covering. Pull the out in the close play. So the side retired in the bottom half, inning number 3, as the Reds come up with the first run of the afternoon. There were 2 hits, 1 error, and Robinson was left on second. The score at the end of 3 innings: Cincinnati 1, the Yankees 0. We move into the 4th inning now. It'll be Kubek, Maris, and Mantle coming up. And listen to the applause out there in the sun deck seats as Robinson goes walking out to his post in right field. They're giving him a full round of applause, and Robinson doffs his cap, putting his hand up there to the peak of the cap as he goes out to his position. You know, one of the speculations in this series prior to this afternoon was when Robertson and Maris would start to break loose. Neither had a hit until Robinson has just come in with his 2-bagger to drive in the run. And that is his first hit and his first RBI. Maris has gone 0 for 8. And the question is, how long can his power be contained? He'll be coming up in his 4th inning following Tony Kubek. Kubek, Maris, and Mantle. It was interesting to me yesterday to see that Tony Kubek,
who was a very versatile member of the Yankee cast, was among those who went out into left field. Take a look at that Sun field and see how he could do out there. I asked Ralph Houck if there were any thoughts of playing Kubek out there, and Ralph said, not really. I think that Tony just wanted to see for himself how tough it was. So here now is Kubek, a left-handed batter, stepping in. Purkey, all set to work, and the pitch to Kubek is swung on. There's a line drive to left. Post comes in, and he has it. Kubek out of the lineup to Wally Post. Post came in and quickly sort of flipped that glove of his up in front of his eyes to shield it just a bit, and then he continued his pursuit in to make the line-out catch. The outfielders would prefer in left field to have liners, then the high flies up on the Suns' rays. Here's Roger Maris. He's been up once in this game, and he has popped up. Left-handed batter facing Purkey. The pitch is low, ball one, the score of the ball game. Cincinnati 1, the New York Yankees nothing. We're in the fourth inning with one away. Maris followed by Mantle. The M&M boys. Some mayhem, murder. These fellows have really blistered pitching this past year, as all of you know so very well. Maris up there right now. The pitch swung on. It's a ground ball going out to Coleman. Going over to cover is Purkey for the out. Two away as Maris grounds out. Maris is trying to get the ball out of the infield, and great Reds pitching so far has throttled that ambition for Maris, whose ambitions, I'm sure, are far loftier. He's not only trying to get out of the infield, but into the seats. Here's Mantle, who's been up once, and has flied out to center field. Two away, top of the fourth. The Reds lead by a 1-0 score as Mantle steps in to face Bob Purkey. Veteran knuckleballer starts the windup, and the pitch coming up to Mantle is inside, ball one. Ball one to Mantle with two down in the top of the fourth inning. The outfield just slightly shifted toward right. Robinson is moreover toward right center. They're not playing Mickey toward that right field line. But Robinson is deep and right. The pitch swung on. There's a fly ball going out to center field. Pinson goes back. He's waiting now, and he is there for the out. He took it just on the edge of the incline, going up in center field, I'd say about 15 feet, or perhaps less, from the center field fence to retire the side. So at the top of the fourth, 3 up and 3 down. And the score, after 3.5 innings, Cincinnati 1 and the New York Yankees nothing. During the last World Series, Gillette introduced its new power spray deodorant for men, Right Guard, and how it's gone over. Today, it's the fastest growing men's deodorant of them all. Little wonder it's a big improvement over the others. You see, Right Guard is a push-button power spray. Just touch the button, and out comes a fine mist that gives you 24-hour protection in just 2 seconds. It's not a messy cream you have to rub in. Not a gummy roll-on that wastes time and feels sticky. Not a drippy hit-and-miss squeeze bottle spray. Right Guard is fast and easy. Its power spray gets right through for complete coverage. Dries on contact. Stops odor. Try cool, refreshing Right Guard power spray deodorant. Regular size costs just 89 cents. New money-saving king size gives you 1/3 more. Costs only $1. Now broadcasting perches high above Crosley Field. We're actually up on the roof. The press box is just to our right, looking down below on a very beautiful playing field and a very filled ballpark. Wally Post leads off the bottom half of the fourth. And the first pitch comes in high, ball one from Bill Stafford. Daly is no longer warming up for New York. Post flied out last time up. Wally Post the batter. Ball one the count. Here's Stafford's next offering. And a swing and a miss. Count now is 1-1. So far in this game, there have been 4 hits altogether. and the Reds have them all. Cincinnati with 1 run, 4 hits, and no errors. And in the Yankee totals, just 1 notation. They have 1 error, otherwise blanks. There's a foul back off Howard's left foot. Count now is ball 1, strike 2 to Wally Post, be followed by Freese and Edwards in the bottom of inning number 4. The hits so far in this game: Kasko, Coleman, Chacón, and Robinson. Robinson providing the extra base flow, and the run batted in as Chacón scored in the bottom half of the 3rd. Reds lead by a 1-0 score. The pitch to Post on the way. Inside, moving Wally back from the plate, and the count now is 2-2. On the Reds' press buttons that all the press are wearing, this little line is written across: the Reds are for real. Here's the 2-2 pitch to Post, and it is inside and high. The count now is 3-2 to Wally Post. Gene Freese on deck. This crowd really unleashed a roar as Robinson drove across the first run of this afternoon back in the 3rd inning with his double to left, scoring Chacón. Count now is 3-2 to Wally Post. Stafford set to work. Getting a sign now from Elston Howard. The right-hander starts the wind-up. Here's the 3-2 pitch on the way. Fouled back, and the count holds at 3-2. You know, speaking about tape measure home runs, Post is one of those who always gets in the discussion. They point out here at Crosley Field, as they do elsewhere, and say that's where Post hit one. He's got long ball power. Count now 3-2 to Post. Stafford set to work with the new ball. Right-hander winds. Here's the 3-2 pitch. A little dribbler off the end of his bat going out to Richardson. They throw to first base for the out. That was it near the end of the bat, sort of snaked its way out to the Yankees' second baseman, as Post is out number 1 in the bottom half of the 4th inning. And the batter now is Gene Freese. Freese drew a walk in the second, stepping in now with 1 out and nobody on in the bottom half of the 4th. Score is Cincinnati 1 and the New York Yankees nothing. Freese this past season had 26 home runs. Most of them pulled far to left. The pitch swung on. There's a fly ball going out to left. Vada comes in, shielding his eyes. He's under it now and has it. Freese flying out to Vada in short left for out number 2. And that brings up Johnny Edwards, who's been up once and grounded out. Only the 3rd season of pro ball, Edwards, who has had a meteoric rise. Went to Ohio State University. Left-handed batter steps in with 2 outs and nobody on. The pitch from Stafford. Swung on. It's a ground ball inside the first base line. Taken by Skowron. He goes over himself to make the tag at the base for the out to retire the side. So in the bottom half of the 4th inning, there are 3 up and 3 down. The score at the end of 4 innings: Cincinnati 1, Yankees nothing.
He can't get it. It's into the right field stand for a home run for Dusty Rhodes.
That happened in the 54 series when Dusty stroked 2 pinch hit homers. Let's hear an actual broadcast of the belt that sewed up game number 1.
Oh, 11 matches were cut out for him with 1 out, 2 on here in the last of the 10th inning. Rhodes swings on the first pitch. It's a high fly ball into right field. Coming over is Pope. Back near the line. Leaps. He can't get it. It's into the right field stand for a home run for Dusty Rhodes. Lemon throws his glove straight up in the air, and that's it.
You'll find this thrilling story in the Gillette World Series Encyclopedia. Yours free with the purchase of the Gillette Adjustable Razor Set for only $1.95. This 256-page pocketbook contains loads of interesting World Series stories, humorous cartoons by Willard Mullen, and practically every series fact and record. And it's yours free with the Gillette Adjustable Razor and a dispenser of those amazingly easy shaving Super Blue Blades. All for the price of the razor set alone, just $1.95.
Wolff with Waite Hoyt here in Cincinnati with the score. The Reds 1, Yankees nothing. And here's the 5th inning coming up. Yogi Berra, who is 2 for 6 in World Series play, walked in the 2nd inning. And the stocky Yankee outfielder, catcher, steps in right now. Yogi Berra's homer of Joey J last Thursday was his 12th in series competition. Only Babe Ruth's 15 and Mickey Mantle's 14 topped him. Yogi Berra steps in now, leading off the fifth to face Bob Purkey. Berra, the only Yankee base runner so far, with a walk in the second. Elio Chacón is playing him a couple of feet back in the right field grass. The pitch is over for a called strike one to Yogi Berra. Purkey throws a lot of breaking pitches, is a good sinker, and of course a fine knuckleball. Tomorrow's starting pitchers, Waite Ford and Jim O'Toole. Strike one, the count to Berra, leading off the fifth. Here's Purkey's next one, and it's swung on and fouled off to the left, and the count now strike two. That was the knuckler. Tough to get good wood on it. Purkey throws it right off his fingertips, as he says, with fingertip control. Some of the other knuckleball pitches use different styles. Wilhelm has his nails longer. He says that prevents some irritation on the tops of his fingers, but Purkey says his are pretty well calloused. He doesn't have that problem. Strike two to Berra. Here's the pitch, and there's a swing and a miss. The ball dropped by Edwards, picks it up, touches Berra to strike out. That was a knuckler that was missed, went darting in as Berra goes down on the strikeout. And that's strikeout number one, posted by Purkey this afternoon. And it brings up Elston Howard, who has been up once and has popped up. Some knuckleball pitchers use sometimes just one finger to push off. Some use two. Purkey uses both fingers there in his method. Here's the pitch to Howard, and it's over in the outside corner for a called strike. Purkey's knuckler is a little faster than some of the other well-known knuckleball hurlers. Dances and darts just like anybody else's, and it's mighty tough to handle. Edwards is strictly on his toes. Strike one to Elston Howard. One out, top of the fifth, score 1-0 Cincinnati. The pitch on the way is low, and the count now is 1-1 to Howard. He followed by Bill Skowron. Purkey steps off the mound, goes to the rosin bag, tugs at his cap, now runs and along the side of his pants. He's given that ball a good rubbing before looking in now to get the sign. Count is 1-1 to Howard. Score 1-0. Cincinnati leads. Now Purkey set to work. Here's the sign from Edwards. The windup by Purkey. The pitch on the way. Swung on. There's a foul going off to the right, heading toward the seats and going out of play. Ball one, strike two. Purkey rubbing up a new ball. Wally Moses coaching at first base for New York. Frankie Crissetti over at third. Now we're all set. The count, ball one, strike two. Elston Howard, the batter. Here's the windup. And the 1-2 pitch. Swung on. There's a fly ball going to center field. Pinson turns. He's going back. He's near the fence. It is up against the fence over his head. On the way to second base is Howard. There's a throw. It's going to be close. He is safe. Kasko taking the throw, and Howard went sliding in, just barely beating it. With a double off the wall in center field over Pinson's head. So the Yankees have their first hit off Bob Purkey. A double by Elston Howard to straightaway center field. Hit number one for New York, coming with one away in the top of the fifth. And the batter now is Bill Skowron, who's been up once and a stride to right. Skowron looks into Yankee manager Ralph Houck, who's on the dugout steps off to our right. And before stepping in, Houck shouted something out to Skowron. Bill is up there now with Howard on second, one down. Score 1-0. Cincinnati is leading. There's a look back towards second base. Here's the pitch to Skowron, and there's a line drive to Kasko. He'll go over to make the double play unassisted as Howard cannot get back to the bag. So that retires the side in a quick inning-ending double play. Howard had no chance to get back. Totals in the fifth. No runs, one hit, no errors, and nobody left. Score of the ball game after 4.5 innings. Reds 1, Yankees nothing. And now as Bob Purkey comes up to the plate and draws a nice hand, also coming up a former World Series star, now World Series broadcaster, voice of the Cincinnati Reds, Waite Hoyt. Waite.
Thank you, Bob, and we're going into the bottom of the fifth inning. And the score is Cincinnati 1 and the New York Yankees nothing. Bob Purkey, the pitcher for the Reds, is the batter right here at this moment. The pitch now by Stafford. Purkey took a strike. He leaned away, but the curveball broke in there, and that is no balls and a strike on Purkey. A couple of years ago, Purkey hit a grand slam home run. As Stafford let loose again, Purkey took another one. There was a fastball. Strike two. No balls, two strikes. Stafford bends down, puts his hands on his knees as he takes the sign from Elston Howard. He comes up once, he pitches. That's in there for strike three as Purkey looked at it and is called out on strikes for the second time for Stafford's fourth strikeout. The Reds are leading 1-0, 1 out in the bottom half of the fifth inning, and Elio Chacón, who started the Reds' one-run rally with a bunt in the third inning, is up there once more. He took the third strike in the first inning, and he dropped a bunt single in the third inning, which the pitcher, after fielding, threw past first base. He throw now to Chacón. Chacón took strike one call. And then Chacón went to second, of course, on the error by the pitcher, and then he scored later on a double by Robinson. He hit the ball now on the ground to the third baseman Boyer. Boyer grabbed it, made the play at first, and Chacón is out at first. 2 away for the Reds in the fifth inning. The Reds are leading 1-0. Eddie Kasko coming up. Kasko had a single in the first inning. He fouled out to the first baseman in the third inning. Kasko has been playing a bang-up defensive game for the Reds, and he's also been to the plate 11 times with 3 hits in this series. They pitch now to Eddie. Eddie hit a high fly ball back, right over near second, and Richardson, the second baseman, moved over, caught the ball almost on the second base bag. And so in the bottom of the fifth inning, the Cincinnati Reds, no one to base. In 5 turns, the Reds 1 run, 4 hits, 4 men left on. And so at the end of the fifth inning, the score is the Cincinnati Reds 1, the New York Yankees nothing.
What's the word on the new cars from Chrysler Corporation? What's the word you hear?
The word is a number, 300. A brand new Chrysler 300. A new high-performance sports series in a popular price range. A full-size Chrysler, and that's about as non-compact as you can get. Yet the new 300 comes at a new low price that puts its sports car performance well within your reach. Take your choice of V8 engines from the standard 305 to the high-performance 380 horsepower. The new Chrysler 300, the excitement of high performance in a popular price range from Chrysler Corporation.
Looks like it's gonna be a Chrysler year.
See your Chrysler dealer during October open house.
The pause here, 30 seconds for station identification.
Are you mixing with the best? Saratoga Vichy with the yellow label. It outsells all the rest. The genuine Vichy with the yellow label. Tastes better tonight. Feel better tomorrow. Saratoga with the yellow label.
Enjoying the game? Well, you'll enjoy it more with Saratoga Vichy. Make sure you're mixing with the best. Saratoga Vichy. WGY, WGFM, Schenectady.
Third baseman up there now. As Purkey fires to him, there's a ball hit in the air. A pop-up out there to Kasko, who's shading his eyes halfway between second and third. He made the catch, and Boyer is out. There have been a tremendous number of first balls hit today, first pitches. There have been a tremendous number of them swung at and hit in some way or another. So Boyer just popped up to the shortstop, and now Stafford is up there. The pitcher is coming to the plate. This is the top of the sixth inning here at Crosley Field in Cincinnati. The Reds have 1 run, 4 hits, no errors. The New York Yankees, no runs, 1 hit, and 1 error. The batter now, Stafford, as Purkey dangles his arms, bending over, taking sides from Edwards. He winds, he pitches. There is strike one call. No balls, one strike. Johnny Edwards down there handling Purkey's knuckleball pretty nicely. The Cincinnati infield spread equidistant one from the other as the batter, pitcher Stafford, moved out of the batter's box. The left fielder post has moved over to left center. Pinson is playing a shallow center. Robinson a very shallow right. Purkey is winding again. He let fly with the pitch. There's a ball hit in the air back of first base. Chacón is going over after it toward the foul line. Made the catch right on the foul line. In fair territory. Down back of first. There are two away for the Yankees in the sixth inning. The Reds are so far ahead in this game, 1-0. The Reds leading 1-0 with two out in the top of the sixth inning. This brings the top of the Yankee batting order up there now in Bobby Richardson. He's been up twice, he's grounded out twice. Once the shortstop threw him out, and once Purkey himself threw him out. Purkey is scraping the mound in front of the rubber. Now he's taking his signals as Edwards down, holding a low target. Richardson, the batter, stands up in front of the plate a little bit. The pitch to Richardson. He laid a ball out in left field. Post scampered in, made the catch, and Richardson is out. The sun is very bad. The outfielders are having a bit of a problem. So in the top of the sixth inning, the New York Yankees no one a base. In 6 turns, the Yankees no runs, 1 hit, and 1 man left on. And so at the end of 5.5 innings, the score is the Cincinnati Reds 1, the New York Yankees nothing.
If you're looking at new cars, look twice at Chrysler for 62. The big news is the all-new Chrysler 300, a high-performance sports series in a new popular price range. Built to step out with V8s ranging from a standard 305 to a high-performance 380 horsepower. And this new 300 series steps ahead with a choice of 4 different interiors, 2 with bucket seats, and luxurious cloth, vinyl, or leather upholstery. And for 62, Chrysler brings you the Newport, the full-size Chrysler, again the price surprise of the year. See the high-performance Chrysler for 62.
And they're simply beautiful. Looks like it's gonna be a Chrysler year.
See your Chrysler dealer during October open house.
Well, here at Crosley Field, they take this World Series to heart. Very intense and very seriously. There are 5 bands of different natures down in the grandstand. Roving troubadours, you might say, that are wandering minstrels through the grandstand, entertaining the people. And the fans have really been sort of starved for World Series excitement. Vada Pinson now leading off in the bottom of the 6th inning. Batting left-handed. He's waiting for Stafford, who has his glove under his arm. As he's taking the signs from Howard. Pinson keeps pumping that bat. He crouches a bit. Now Stafford pitches. Pinson bunted a foul off to the right of the plate. Caught by Howard. Now Pinson attempted to bunt, but he popped it in the air, and Howard, the catcher, trotted after it, made the catch off to the right. Pinson is out. So Robinson up now. Robinson drove in the lone Cincinnati run with a double in the 3rd inning. Robinson at the plate. You know, in a number of National League cities, I don't know so much about the American League, but Los Angeles for one, Pittsburgh for another, there's generally a bugler who plays the charge, and you may hear it occasionally down there in the stand, and now it's found its way to Cincinnati. As Stafford taking the sign, ready to pitch, he throws. Robinson toppled over a little backwards. It was not a knockdown pitch. Can't say that at all because it was supposed to have been a curve and it didn't break. 1 ball, no strikes, 1-0. As Stafford in action again. Now he pitches. Robinson took a low breaking ball. That's 2 balls and no strikes, 2-0. Score is 1-0. The Reds are leading with 1 out in the bottom of the 6th inning. They play Robinson deep and they shade him toward left field. Yogi Berra is at the base of what they call the terrace here, which is an incline which starts 25 feet from the left field wall. The pitch to Robinson. Robinson hit a high foul. That's over toward the Reds bench. Elston Howard, the catcher, is coming over toward the box seats, made the catch, and Robinson is out. 2 away for the Reds in the 6th inning. Once again, the score, Cincinnati 1, the New York Yankees nothing. 2 out in the bottom of the 6th. Gordy Coleman up now. Coleman single in the 2nd, and he grounded out in the 3rd. Coleman so far in the series has 3 hits and 10 turns at bat. Just batting an even .300 for that matter. The pitch to Coleman, he grounded. He rolled a foul over to the box seats alongside of first. No balls, 1 strike. Well, they give the batting average on the scoreboard as .250, but that's only up until today. He has had 1 out of 2 today. Coleman laid a line drive in the left field. That's another base hit. And Coleman has reached first on a single. Berra grabbed the ball, returned it to second base in a hurry. This brings up Wally Post. Post is an Ohio boy. He comes from the region of St. Wendell and St. Henry up in Ohio. And he has many, many friends in this area. Yes, this is the 3rd game of the very brilliant World Series, I would say so far. Been excellently played by both teams. As a matter of fact, good pitching all the way through it by both sides. Post up there now. Stafford fires, and Post took a low curveball outside. Ball 1. Now it's a little difficult to distinguish a curve from here at times, to distinguish a curve from a knuckleball or some other type pitch. Sliders, if it's a good slider, you're not supposed to see. Vada's not even supposed to be able to distinguish that one. 1 ball, no strikes as Stafford hesitates. Now he's ready to pitch. He does. Post grounded a foul. He hit the ball with 1 hand. The left hand slipped off the bat, and he reached around with his hit it with 1 arm. That when he hit it down past Otero, a ground foul. 1 ball, 1 strike. The Reds are leading 1-0. 2 out in the bottom of the 6th inning. The Reds have 1 run, 5 hits. The Yankees no runs, 1 hit. Coleman is on first base, 2 out in the inning. As Stafford is very carefully adjusting his foot against the pitcher's rubber, bending over with his hands and his knees, taking his signal. Now he's ready. He's pitching. Post hit a ground ball down at Boyer at 3rd, who flipped it off to Richardson at 2nd, forcing Coleman at 2nd. The Reds are retired in the 6th inning, and in the 6th inning, Cincinnati no runs, 1 hit, and a man left. They have 1 run, 5 hits, 5 left with the 6 turns at bat. And so at the end of the 6th inning, the score is the Cincinnati Reds 1, the New York Yankees nothing.
Say, how lucky do you feel right now? Well, you may be luckier than you think. Chrysler Corporation is offering 180 brand new cars free during October open house, and one of them may be yours. It's an open invitation to see the new cars and sign up to win one. If you own a car, any make or model, any year, you could be one of the lucky winners. To qualify, all you have to do is come in and register with any authorized dealer who sells Plymouth, Valiant, Dodge, Lancer, Chrysler, or Imperial. That's all there is to it, but remember, you have to register by October 31st. Visit your dealer during October open house. Why not tonight? You may win a brand new 62 car from Chrysler Corporation. Free car offer void in Nebraska, Wisconsin, Florida, Canada, and wherever else prohibited by law.
All right, here we are back at Crosley Field in Cincinnati for the 3rd game of the World Series. Waite Hoyt, who along with Bob Wolff. There's a very interesting thing. You know, they're building a superhighway just beyond the center field wall here at Crosley Field. And, of course, there are tractors and cranes and different construction equipment. And they are serving at the moment as temporary seats for a lot of folks who couldn't get in. And they're sitting on the cranes and on the tractors and on the hauling trucks over there, getting a peek over here at the World Series over the center field wall. Tony Kubek leading off now in the top of the 7th with Purkey in action. He pitches to Kubek. That's low. Ball 1. This is the top of the 7th inning, and the Reds are leading 1-0. Kubek starts the meat of the batting order, we might say, up there, with Kubek, Maris, and Mantle due at the plate in this inning. Kubek batting left-handed. Breeze at third base is playing him shallow. The left-handed batter, the pitch to him now. There's a ball hit into center field for a base hit. as Kubek laid a base hit in the center. Pinson recovered the ball, got it back to Kasko at second base. That is the second hit for the New York Yankees. Second hit of the ball. Puts Kubek on first base, no one out. In the top of the seventh inning, the fans are beginning to be a little anxious now here in Cincinnati as Roger Maris, the great home run hitter, comes up there. He'll be followed by Mickey Mantle. Maris batting left-handed. The second base combination of Kasko and Chacón. Kasko the shortstop, and Chacón got together out there on who would cover in case the ball was hit to the infield. Freese is playing in front of third. Purkey is taking signals from Johnny Edwards, the catcher. Purkey is giving Kubek a look on first base as the Cincinnati right-hander pitches. The ball is hit in the air out there in center, and Pinson is making the run for it. Goes over into left center, made the catch, and Maris is out. Bringing up Mickey Mantle. Now we have a couple of right-handers warming up in the bullpen. Ken Hunt is warming up for the Reds, and also Jay Hook. All right. The score is Cincinnati 1 run, 5 hits, no errors. The New York Yankees, no runs, 2 hits, and 1 error. Mantle batting left-handed. So Purkey is just checking his runner on first base. Now he pitches. Mantle missed for strike one. Mantle hit it, took a hard cut at the knuckleball. No balls and 1 strike. Mickey went for the works. Another pitch. Mantle hit a little foul ball over here toward the Reds bench, but it could not be caught as Edwards slid after the ball and slid right into the Yankee bench, into the Reds bench. He took a tremendous sprint and then slid after the ball, and he slid right down the steps. He didn't hurt himself. He's up on his feet and back in the catcher's box. Tomorrow's pitchers will be the same pitchers who open the series. For the New York Yankees, Whitey Ford. For the Reds, Jim O'Toole. As Purkey hesitates now, he pitches to Mantle. It bounced off the glove of Edwards into the bench, and Kubek, who had taken second, is only allowed 1 base. It goes as a pass ball for Edwards. Now, you see, before the ball game here, they were talking about, even Edwards said himself, he intended to use the oversized, the king-size catcher's glove to try to catch these knuckleballs, but I see that he must have switched along the line somewhere because he's not using it. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 and 2 on Mantle. Kubek on second via the pass ball route. 1 and 2 count on Mantle, batting left-handed, staying right in the center of the batter's box. As Purkey hesitates, he pitches again. Mantle struck out. Kubek still on second. Purkey's second strikeout. The score is 1-0. The Cincinnati Reds leading 1-0 with 2 out in the top of the 7th. Coleman is coming over from first base to have a little chat with pitcher Purkey. You know, the excitement is so intense and varied here. You know, the Yankees have been in this thing so much that they remind me of sort of Park Avenue business tycoons making another business deal, you know. And they approach it with a sort of a suavity and a metropolitan demeanor. For the Reds, it's like a young man making his first big deal, you know. And they're all really excited. The pitch now to Yogi Berra. That's low. Ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. 1-0. strikes. This is the 12th series for Yogi Berra. This is World Series number 12 for him, so he's not exactly short of change. And neither is Crosley, who has been in 20 of them. Third base coach Berra hit a little lobber out there right field, and Robinson could not get it. The score is tied as Quebec has scored. There was almost a three-way collision between Chacón, Pinson, and Robinson. As a matter of fact, Robinson is down. It was a fly ball single in the right field, and when it's a base hit, Chacón is down. Chacón was brushed by Robinson, knocked off his feet. Trainer Doc Rody of the Cincinnati Reds is jogging out to right field to see if Chacón is all right. But the score is tied as Berra seemingly hit the ball on the handle of the bat. He got a hold of it sufficiently so to drive it as a fly ball in the short right. Chacón went back and even managed to get his glove on the ball. He couldn't have held the ball whatsoever, but he made a nice try. Robinson could not get it either, and it fell in there for a base hit. Quebec scored all the way from second. And the score is tied now at 1-1. The Cincinnati Reds have 1 run and 5 hits. The Yankees 1 run and 3 hits. So the game is tied up. Berra himself is on first base. Well, Purkey himself, because of that knuckleball, as I would believe that Hoyt, Wilhelm, and other knuckleball pitchers throughout baseball have experienced the same thing, of course, that they throw a knuckleball to the plate, and once in a while it bounces off the catcher's glove, and a man on base takes another base and then it results sooner or later in a run. That's happened to Purkey quite a few times this season. Matter of fact, Purkey struck out Willie Mays, and the ball got by the catcher, rolled all the way to the backstop, and Mays took 2 bases on it. So it is. Everybody's back at their positions now, as everybody seems to be okay. Elston Howard, who doubled in the 5th inning, is up. He has 1 out of 2 for the afternoon so far. So Elston Howard batting right-handed. Purkey is leaning forward, taking the signals from Johnny Edwards. Howard has that left side turned in. The pitch to Howard. That's a pitch outside. Ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. There are 2 men out in the top of the 7th inning here at Crosley Field, the 3rd game of the World Series. Cincinnati Reds have 1 run and 5 hits. The Yankees have 1 run and 3 hits. So it's a tie ball game. As Purkey checking his runner, Berra on first base. Now he pitches, and Howard took a strike. He started a swing, and he thought better of it. He took the pitch, and it's called a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. And he protests mildly to umpire Frank Umont. I might say, from my observation, that the umpires have been doing a very excellent job here during this series. They've been really on the ball, and they've all looked good, calling balls and strikes, and really an excellent job. Umont, Donatelli, Runge, Conlon, Crawford, and Bob Stewart. So Purkey fires again. That's a little off the plate outside. 2 balls and a strike, 2-1. All these Yankees are dangerous. Well, all batters are dangerous for that matter. You just simply cannot hold any batter cheaply in any league, in any team. 2 balls and a strike, 2-1. So Purkey is hesitating. Now he's pitching. Howard hit a foul. That's up on the roof over there to the right. So it's 2 balls and 2 strikes, 2-2. 2 out. In the top of the 7th inning, the score is tied at 1-1. Purkey is preparing another ball out there now. Purkey always takes his glove off and puts it under his left arm as he rubs the ball up. Then he has a little mannerism. After he pitches the ball, he always taps his glove with his fist after he throws the ball. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2-2. As Purkey is ready to go again, and now he pitches. Howard fouled it against the backstop. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2-2. Funny what strange mannerisms you can get in, what strange superstitions you can become part of you. For instance, when I was pitching, I could never step on the foul line coming in or going from the pitcher's mound and going back to it. I always put my glove a certain way, face down or a palm downward, see? 2 balls, 2 strikes. Purkey taking the sign again from Edwards, and Bob's bracing himself, ready to pitch. He does. That's a high fly ball. That's moving down there by the third base line in the foul territory. Freeze has it outside the line. You never know here whether they're going to blow back foul. And you must pause a moment. So in the seventh inning, the New York Yankees came back with 1 run, 2 hits, and a man left on. The Yankees have 1 run, 3 hits, and 2 men left on base. And so, at the end of 6 1/2 innings, the score is New York 1, the Cincinnati Reds 1.
High performance in a popular price range. The new Chrysler 300, a full-size Chrysler, not a junior edition. There's nothing humdrum about this one. It's all live car. The big V8 engines range from the standard 305 to the high-performance 380 horsepower. Acceleration is up for safety and passing, yet gas consumption is down. High performance in a car that looks like high performance. It's clean and crisp with a simplicity that makes sense. See the Chrysler 300, a high-performance sports series in a popular price range. One of the live new cars from Chrysler Corporation.
And it's simply beautiful. Looks like it's gonna be a Chrysler year.
See your Chrysler dealer during October open house.
Lead off the bottom of the 7th inning, and the score is 1-1. The Yankees with 1 run, 3 hits. The Cincinnati Reds, 1 run, 5 hits. The Yankees have made 1 error. The Reds have made none. Gene Freeze will lead off. All right, we'll pause here 30 seconds for station identification.
Are you mixing with the best? Saratoga Vichy with the yellow label. It outsells all the rest. The genuine Vichy with the yellow label. Tastes better tonight. Feel better tomorrow. Saratoga with the yellow label.
It's a hit in any man's league. That's Saratoga Vichy. Look for the yellow label that marks the champion. Saratoga Vichy. This is WGY, WGFM, Schenectady.
Well, the Reds have pitched beautiful baseball. So it's a real pitching big league duel. The pitch now to Freeze. Freeze hit a fly ball in left field. Yogi Berra is moving over under it, going to his left. He has it, then there's 1 away for the Reds in the 7th. This will bring up Johnny Edwards, who's been up twice with no hits. The score is 1-1. 1 out in the bottom of the 7th inning here at Crosley Field. Before the game, there was a moment of silence in respect for Mr. Powell Crosley, Jr., the former owner of the Cincinnati Reds, who died last March. Arroyo and Bud Daly. Louis Arroyo and Bud Daly are warming up in the Yankee bullpen. The pitch now to Edwards. Edwards drove the ball in right field, and that's the base hit. Edwards is going to try for 2. The throw is coming in, and he's sitting there safely with a 2-base hit. Maris made a nice throw. His throw was nice. Back to second base, but Edwards beat it. And that's Edwards' 3rd hit of the series. 7 turns at bat. And he has driven in 2 of the Cincinnati runs in this series. Edwards is on second. Purkey is the batter now. Bottom of the 7th. 1 man out here at Crosley Field. The score is tied. 1-1. Bill Stafford hesitates. Pitches to Purkey, who took it low outside. Ball 1. Now, of course, it would be rather difficult for Edwards to score if a single is made, as the outfield is playing very shallow. The Yankee outfielders, Berra, Mantle, and Maris, are playing very shallow. Another pitch to Purkey. That's in there. Strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. 1 of each. So Stafford, the right-hander, bending over, hands on his knees again, taking the signals. Now he fires. Purkey took the curveball a little off the plate, according to Umont, and it's ball 2 and strike 1. Two on Purkey. Stafford delivers again. Purkey grounded a foul against the box seats alongside of third. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Stafford, the right-hander pitching for the Yankees, is 6 feet 1 inch tall. Purkey, pitching for the Reds, is 6'2". He's the batter at the moment. Don Blanchingame is throwing down on the bullpen, which leads us to suspect that perhaps he may put in a pinch hitter for Chacón, or that either Chacón may have been injured a bit when he bumped into Robinson and Wright. The pitch now to Purkey, he took a cut and he missed for strike 3. Now let's see, Chacón is the next batter. He's out on the batting circle. And Jerry Lynch, who made a name for himself in the National League this year as a pinch hitter, is going to the plate, going to bat for Chacón. Jerry Lynch, his batting average during the season, 317. .315. Gave him 2 points too many. Lynch has been to the plate 1 time so far in this series, been up once with no hits. They're walking Lynch perfectly. Ball 1. They're putting him on. Ball 2. Ball 3. Stafford pitching outside. Ball 4. And Lynch has an intentional pass. The score here at Crosley Field is 1-1. 2 out in the bottom of the 7th inning. The batter is Eddie Kasko. The Reds have 1 run and 6 hits. The New York Yankees 1 run and 3 hits. Now Blanchingame will run for Lynch. Blanchingame is running for Lynch. The batter Eddie Kasko with 1 hit in 3 turns. Bottom of the 7th, 2 out. Stafford is hesitating. The pitch to Kasko over the plate. Strike 1 call. Stafford is hesitating again, checking his runners, hands on his knees. Now he's ready. Here it comes. There's a base hit in the left, and this may be trouble. Ferry is throwing into the home plate. The Reds are leading 2-1. The Reds now have 2 runs, 7 hits, no errors. The New York Yankees 1 run, 3 hits, and 1 error. Now there is Ralph Hoyt, the Yankee manager, walking to the mound. Also Elston Howard, who is going out there to receive instructions from Hoyt. There have been 2 left-handers warming up in the Yankee bullpen. Louis Arroyo, who has been their talented relief pitcher this year, and Bud Daly, who once was such a star for Kansas City, and who has a tremendous curved ball. And Daly is being brought in, I believe. Daly will be the relieving pitcher in this situation. That was the 2nd hit for Kasko in today's ball game. Edwards scored from 2nd, and Blanchingame stopped at 2nd. Kasko's on first, and now Daly is the batter. They brought him in the pitch especially to Pinson, the left-handed batter coming up next. So this is Bud Daly. Now, I would say that Bill Stafford pitched fine ball. He certainly has nothing, naturally any pitcher will feel a little bad if he leaves the game behind when his team is losing, but nevertheless he shouldn't feel ashamed of anything. He pitched real nice baseball for the New York Yankees. So Daly is pitching in the 7th inning with 2 men out. This is Daly's first appearance in this series. So Bud Daly, and he has a tremendous curved ball. He was very effective in the All-Star game a couple of years ago. Right now, there are 2 out in the 7th inning here at Crosley Field in Cincinnati. The Cincinnati Reds have just scored a run. The Cincinnati Reds have 2 runs, 7 hits, no errors. The New York Yankees, 1 run, 3 hits, and 1 error. So Bud Daly, the left-hander pitching, Vada Pinson up to the plate. Bud Daly for the Yankees was in 40 games this year. He won 12 and lost 17, but nevertheless, he's a very excellent pitcher. Daly ready to pitch now to Pinson. Foul ball. Pinson reached out, tried to hit the curve, and he just rolled it to the backstop. No balls, 1 strike. Daly's up in front of down the front slope of the mound. He was looking in toward the plate there. Daly's taking the signs from Elston Howard. And the left-hander is pausing. Said nods his head okay. He has the signal. He agrees with the catcher. Ready to pitch. He throws. Pinson hitting a ball in right field, but foul. It started out fair enough. Twisted around and landed in the front row of the box seats down beyond the Yankee bullpen, which is down a little beyond first base and right field. Of course, the Yankees sit on the right side of the field to the right of home plate, the Reds on the left side. The Reds bullpen is down in left field. So it's a no-ball, 2-strike count. Vada Pinson up, with Blasingame on second and Kasko on first. The Reds are leading 2-1. Bud Daly, hands on his knees again, staring in there, taking a peek at the fingers of Howard, reading the signals. Now he's ready to pitch, checks his man on second, and he threw to second base, but Blasingame slid back there safe. As he pitched now to Pinson, he hit a fly ball in right field. Roger Maris went over after it toward the foul line, made the catch, and Pinson is out. So the Reds scored a run to put them back in the lead in the 7th inning. 1 run, 2 hits, 2 men left on. The Reds have 2 runs, 7 hits, 7 men left on base. And so at the end of the 7th inning, the score is the Cincinnati Reds 2, the New York Yankees 1.
You know, the only thing more exciting than the World Series is your first look at the new cars. And this year, Chrysler Corporation makes it more exciting than ever. 180 brand new cars are offered free during October open house. One of them could be yours. 30 Imperials, 30 Chryslers, 30 Dodge Darts, 30 Lancers, 30 Plymouths, and 30 Valiants. If you own a car, any make or model, any year, all you have to do to qualify is stop in and register with any authorized Plymouth, Valiant, Dodge, Lancer, Chrysler, or Imperial dealer. But this is important. You must register during October open house, and that ends October 31st. Why not see your dealer tonight? Free car offer void in Nebraska, Wisconsin, Florida, Canada, and wherever else prohibited by law.
The Yankees have been unfortunate walking batters intentionally. In the second game the other day, they walked Freese twice, and Edwards came through twice with 2 hits to score runs. Well, the succeeding batter, Lynch, today, didn't get a chance to swing as he was walked intentionally, but then Kasko came through with the base hit, so it's worked against the Yankees. Now we're going into the top of the 8th inning here at Crosley Field. The batter is Moose Skowron, the right-handed batter. He's been up twice, no hits. The score is 2-1 with the Reds leading. Blasingame playing at second base in the 8th inning now as Purkey's in action. He pitches. That's inside, ball 1. So the Cincinnati infield Freeze at third, Kasko at short, Blasingame at second, Coleman at first, Post in left, Pinson in center, Robinson to right, Purkey pitching, Edwards catching. And this is Wade Hoyt, who along with Bob Wolff is with you today. As Purkey in action again, he pitches, and there's a foul ball, but that's twisting around into the box seats alongside of third. 1 ball, 1 strike. That landed in the aisle down there beyond third. 1 ball, 1 strike. So the Reds have their 2 relief aces down in the bullpen now. Bill Henry, the left-hander, and Jim Brosnan, the right-hander. And Louis Arroyo continues to warm up for the Yankees down in their bullpen in right field. The pitcher is due at the plate third in this inning for the Yankees. So Purkey winding again, pitching. As a ball hit back to Purkey. He grabbed it, threw to first. 1 out in the 8th inning. The score is the Cincinnati Reds 2, the New York Yankees 1. The Reds have 2 runs, 7 hits, no errors. The Yankees have 1 run, 3 hits, and 1 error. So Clete Boyer is the batter, the third baseman, the fellow who made such brilliant plays in New York City. Batting right-handed. As Purkey is winding now, he pitches. That's taken for a strike. No balls, 1 strike. Freeze is playing a little close to the line now down at third, trying to block off anything that might look like an extra base hit along the line, down alongside of third base. The Reds are shading Boyer a little left field. Now the pitch to him, he took high. That's 1 ball, 1 strike. Now, that evidently was one of those butterfly knucklers, as Boyer snapped his head around much as a fighter might if you were taking a quick jab at his head as he pulled his head to the side a little bit. 1 ball, 1 strike. 1-1 on Boyer. One out in the 8th inning. As Purkey, ready, pitches. It hit the bat of Boyer and flew over into the grandstand alongside of first base. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Score is Cincinnati 2, the New York Yankees 1, with 1 out in the 8th inning. Beautiful day here, not a cloud in the sky, not a vestige of a cloud. Warm, delightful. Edwards holding the target for his pitcher now as Purkey starts his windup. He throws. There's a fly ball hit alongside of first, and Coleman indicates he'll try it. He made the catch, and they're go away in the 8th inning for the Yankees. That was a foul ball. The Cincinnati Reds are leading the Yankees 2-1, with 2 out in the 8th. The Reds with 2 runs and 7 hits, the Yankees with 1 run and 3 hits. And Johnny Blanchard is the batter. Johnny Blanchard. Blanchard in this season batted .305. He has no average in the series so far. Played right field in the second game. Batting left-handed. There's a ball hit in the air out in right field. Robinson is moving up toward the fence, and it goes in for a home run, a pinch hit home run for Johnny Blanchard, who is making the tour around the bases, just turning at second. Now, there's another homer for the Yankees, and that puts the score at 2-2. The Yankees with 2 runs, 4 hits, and the Reds with 2 runs and 7 hits. And all the Yankees on the Yankee bench over there to the right greeted Blanchard, of course, when he came to the plate. That's Blanchard's first World Series home run, by the way. His first hit of the series, and it tied the score. This brings up the top of the batting order in Richardson. Richardson has been 3 times to the plate, no hits. Now the pitch there to Richardson, that's strike 1 call. Blanchard, of course, was batting for the pitcher, Bud Daly. Yes, he parked one up there, hit the ball well, a very high one that fell over the right field fence into the bleachers. Robinson backed up as far as he could, took a leap at the ball, but there was no possibility. 1 strike on Richardson. The score is 2-2. An excellent ball game here as Purkey throws again. There's a ball batted for a single and a left in between short and third. And that becomes the 5th hit for the New York Yankees. The Yankees have 2 runs and 5 hits. The Reds have 2 runs and 7 hits. So Richardson is on first, and Tony Kubek, the left-handed hitting shortstop, is the batter. The home run by Blanchard was the 4th in this series by the Yankees. Richardson on first. Purkey hesitates. There goes Richardson. He throws to second, and the man is the ball in the center field, but is picked up quickly by Pinson. A stolen base by Richardson. Richardson has stolen second. You see, there's no doubt but what a fellow like Ralph Hoyt, the manager of the Yankees, would try to get that run that could put the Yankees ahead to second base, and doubly so because of the fact that Purkey throws so many knuckleballs, which are very difficult for the catcher to handle. And there's some doubt and element as to whether now there's a little hassle at the home plate. They're not bitter, but at any rate, they are questioning the umpire as I guess they're trying. I don't know what they're trying to say. It may be that Kubek. Yeah, they're questioning whether it was a ball or a strike now, I guess. That was as they think that perhaps Kubek tried to bunt the ball. He started a bunt and evidently retracted his bat, and the umpire decided it was a ball. And there was a slight protest now on the part of Purkey. They claimed that he bunted the ball. But Richardson stole second. And Richardson himself is on second. There are 2 away in the top of the 8th inning. The score is 2-2. And Kubek is the batter. He's had 1 hit. He had a single in the 7th, and he eventually scored on a single by Ferrer. Kubek batting left-handed. So Purkey pitches now. That's too low inside, and Edwards walked after the ball on his knees. He actually walked on his knees to catch the ball off to the right of the plate, low inside on Kubek. 2 balls and no strikes. Maris is on deck. Score 2-2. 2-2 ball game here now. 2 out in the 8th at Crosley Field. 3rd game of the World Series. So Purkey pauses. Now he pitches. There's a ball hit in the air out in right center. And there comes Pinson, there comes Robinson, and Pinson caught the ball. Pinson went down with it to get under the sun so as he could get his vision straightened out there. He made the catch, but in the 8th inning, the Yankees tied the score with 1 run, 2 hits, and had a man left on. The Yankees 2 runs, 5 hits, 3 men left on base. And so at the end of 7.5 innings, the score is the New York Yankees 2, the Cincinnati Reds 2.
Newport, again the price surprise, and again no junior edition. A full-size Chrysler in every way. There's full-size luxury with richly finished interiors and exteriors. Full-size comfort with a 122-inch wheelbase, stretch-out room for 6. And full-size power with a Husky 361 cubic inch engine that does its best on regular gas. And with Newport, you'll get better acceleration and use less gas. The price surprise, Newport, one of the live new cars from Chrysler Corporation, suggested retail price only $2,964 plus destination charges.
And they're simply beautiful. Looks like it's gonna be a Chrysler year.
See your Chrysler dealer during October open house.
Well, Louis Arroyo, A-R-R-O-Y-O is the pitcher for the Yankees. In the bottom half of the 8th inning with the score tied 2-2. And of course you know that Arroyo was once a Cincinnati Red for a very brief period. He was also, of course, a Pittsburgh Pirate and at another time a St. Louis Cardinal. Robinson will be the first batter to face him. Robinson drove in one of the 2 Reds with a double. one of the two runs. He had a double in the third. This season, pitching for the Yankees, Arroyo, of course, was a very fine pitcher, winning 15 and losing 5. Third in pitching average in the league. He pitched now to Robinson. Robinson struck hard and he missed. Strike one. And the Yankees have Demestri in infield. Wait a minute, just a moment here. Renner, I believe it is. Renner, they have Renner forming up and also Shelf. All right, Arroyo working again now. Pitches. Robinson grounded a foul. Now it's Coates down in the bullpen. Jim Coates. No ball, 2-strike count on Robinson. Score is 2-2. Bottom of the 8th and the most exciting game here at Crosley Field. The Yankees are playing Robinson dead left field. Shifted right field behind first base, pretty wide open. As Arroyo, the left-hander, is taking his signals, winding, pitching. Robinson took the high fastball. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 1-2. Arroyo is in action again. He pitches. That's outside with the screwball. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The left-handed screwball breaks down and away from a right-handed batter. 2-2. The score is 2-2. The Yankees 2, the Reds 2. No one out in the bottom half of the 8th inning. Vada has moved up at the base of the terrace in left field. Mickey Mantle, the center fielder, in left center at the base of the terrace. As Arroyo is standing there, chunky little fellow, standing there, left-hander, ready to go now. Here he comes. Robinson fouled it against the backstop. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2-2. Tomorrow's pitchers will be Whitey Ford for the Yankees and Jim O'Toole for the Reds. Arroyo hesitates. Here he comes. That's outside. That brings it up to 3-2. A 3-2 count on Robinson. No one out the bottom of the 8th inning. Score 2-2. The official paid attendance today, officially paid here at Crosley Field, 32,589. The official paid attendance, 32,589. Arroyo stands stationary, taking his signs from Howard. Now he's ready. The left-hander pitches. Robinson struck out. Cut and miss. 6 Cincinnati Reds have struck out today as Stafford struck out 5 of them. And Arroyo so far, the first man he faced. Gordy Coleman up there now. Coleman has had 2 hits today, 2 singles. The score is 2-2. There's a pitcher's box conference there between Elston Howard and the pitcher Arroyo. You know, with the score tied at the moment, why, Louis Arroyo has taken over the responsibility for the win or the loss. He could either be, right at this point, the winning pitcher or the losing pitcher. Now Coleman is up. Arroyo looks him over. Here he goes. There's Arroyo in action. Pitches. There's a foul ball up on the roof down in left field. So that's no balls and 1 strike. 1 away in the bottom of the 8th inning here in this 3rd World Series game. The score is tied at 2-2. Cincinnati 2 runs and 7 hits. The Yankees 2 runs and 5 hits. The Yankees have made 1 error so far. The Reds have made none. So Arroyo in action. Pitches. That's outside, and that's 1 ball, 1 strike. 1 of each. Clete Boyer at third. Well, the pitch now to Coleman is strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The fastball in there. Boyer, the third baseman, is playing off the bag over towards shortstop somewhat. Kubek, the shortstop, has moved over towards second. Richardson, the second baseman, is playing a normal second. Skowron, normally in position at first, but he's playing deep. Berra, the left fielder, is playing in left center. Mantle is shifted over to right center, a trifle. Maris is playing a normal right. So Arroyo working again. There's a pop-up. There's a foul behind the plate. Elston Howard is coming back after it. Made the catch, and there are 2 Reds away in the 8th inning. The score is 2-2. Wally Post up now. Post batting right-handed, started the game with a World Series batting average of .429. He had 3 hits and 7 turns. Today as yet, Post has not had a hit. There have been 7 Cincinnati hits distributed, 1 to Chacón, 2 to Kasko, a double by Robinson, 2 singles by Coleman, and a double by Johnny Edwards, the catcher. As the pitch now to Post. Post grounded a foul off to the right of the plate, strike 1. The Yankee hitters so far, Richardson, a single. Kubek, a single. Maris, Mantle, well, no hits as yet. Berra had a single. Howard a double. And, of course, the all-important blow is that home run by Johnny Blanchard with 2 out in the 8th inning, which tied the score at 2-2, and it still remains at 2-2. Arroyo pitching again. Post missed the breaking ball. No balls, 2 strikes. That was either a curve or a screwball. Difficult to see from here. We call it a breaking ball when we're just not positive of what it is. 0-2. So Arroyo once again taking the sign from Howard. The infield deep to the left now. Very deep in the infield and playing Post as a direct left field batter. So Arroyo pitching. That's outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 1-2. Arroyo bends forward, taking the signals. Now he's winding, pitching. Post grounded a ball down to Boyer at third, who grabbed it, threw to first base, and Post is out at first, and the Reds are out in the 8th. In the 8th inning for Cincinnati, no one a base. In 8 turns, the Reds have 2 runs and 7 hits. And so at the end of the 8th inning, the score is New York 2 and the Cincinnati Reds 2.
This is WGY, WGFM, Schenectady.
Being played at Crosley Field in Cincinnati today. Roger Maris is the leadoff batter in the 9th inning as Purkey pitches. Strike 1 call. The score is 2-2. The Cincinnati Reds have had 2 runs and 7 hits. The Yankees have had 2 runs and 5 hits. The Yankees have made 1 error, and the Reds have made none. The Yankees have left 3 men on. The Reds have left 7 men on. As Purkey in action, pitches to Maris. Maris took a low knuckleball, and that's 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 of each. Maris batting left-handed. 1-1, they're playing Maris at dead right field. Hitter Pinson is up on the terrace in center. You fans unacquainted with Crosley Field, that's an incline that starts 25 feet short of the fences and rises gradually, a distance of about 7 feet in the air. Another pitch now to Maris. That's high inside. 2 balls and a strike. 2-1. 2 balls, 1 strike. Frankie Crosetti is coaching at third base. Wally Moses at first base. Wally Moses was a Cincinnati batting coach in 1960. So Purkey ready to go. Now he pitches. There's a ball hit out in right field, and there goes the home run for Roger Maris. His first hit of the series, and it's a home run. And the 6th home run hit by the Yankees in this World Series. Maris' first hit of the series. As he tagged one up in the right field seats, making the tour around the bases, just crossed the plate to receive a handshake by Mickey Mantle. And the Yankees are leading 3-2. That was the Yankees' 6th hit. They have 3 runs and 6 hits. The Reds have 2 runs and 7 hits. This is Mickey Mantle batting now, following Maris. As Purkey pitching to Mantle, pitches the ball high outside. That was Maris' 3rd World Series home run, by the way. Home run number 3 for Maris in his total World Series. His first hit and first homer in this series. 1 ball, no strikes. Purkey winding, pitching. He got it in there. That's strike 1 call. 1-1. One ball, 1 strike. Purkey's taking the signs from Edwards, pitching again now. That's outside. 2 balls and a strike, 2-1. For Mickey Mantle, the Cincinnati Reds play way around toward right field. With Freeze off at 3rd, Kasko, the shortstop, almost behind 2nd. Blasingame is playing a normal 2nd, more or less. Coleman along the line behind 1st. There's a strike. Purkey got it in there, and Mantle took a tremendous ripple at the pitch, and he missed. Went all the way around with all his power. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Wally Post, the left fielder, is playing over in front of the scoreboard. That's in left center field. Pinson is playing more or less on a dead line from the home plate. He hasn't shifted a great deal. Robinson is up on the terrace in right field. Henry and Brosnan are warming up for the Reds down in their bullpen. Another pitch to Mantle. That's just off the plate. That's 3 balls and 2 strikes. 3-2. There is no one out in the top of the 9th inning here. The Yankees are leading the Reds 3-2 by virtues of 2 home runs in the 8th and 9th innings. Blanchard's home run tied the score in the 8th. Maris' home run in the 9th put the Yankees ahead 3-2. The Reds were leading 2-1 going into the top of the 8th inning. The pitch now to Mantle. Took the cut and he missed for strike 3. So Mantle struck out. Purkey's 3rd strikeout, by the way. With Yogi Berra coming up. Yogi walked in the 2nd. He struck out in the 5th. Then he hit a fly ball single in the right field in the 7th to drive in Kubek, who had singled earlier in the inning with the Yankees' first run. So the Yankees have scored 1 run in each of the 7th, 8th, and 9th innings. And the Yankees are leading in this game for the first time. Yogi Berra batting left-handed as Purkey bending over, way over, arms dangling almost to the ground, ready to pitch now. He does. He throws to Berra. That's called the ball outside. Ball 1. The Yankees have 3 runs, 6 hits, and an error, and the Reds have 2 runs, 7 hits, no errors. As Purkey working again, throwing. That's inside. That's 2 balls, no strikes, 2-0 on Berra. Time is called as a ball got loose from the Reds bullpen and rolled out on the playing field in left field. 2 balls, no strikes. The Yankees leading 3-2. 1 out in the top of the 9th inning here at Crosley Field. So Purkey pitches again. The ball is bounced foul down past Wally Moses. That's 2 balls and 1 strike. The Yankee power asserted itself here this afternoon. Blanchard, who has won a number of games for the Yankees with his home runs and hitting a great deal in the clutch, and of course that great home run hitter for the Yankees, Roger Maris, came through when they needed his homer the most in the top of the 9th inning here. The Yankees are leading 3-2. 1 out in the 9th. Purkey pitching to Berra. Berra took a cut and he rolled a foul with the backstop. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2-2. Purkey shook the catcher off by waving his glove, by wiggling his glove. That means that's a shake-off sign. Now the pitch made to Berra. Berra took it outside and was just off the plate for ball 3. 3 balls and 2 strikes. This Berra, he has good eyes at the plate. Tomorrow's pitchers, of course, are Whitey Ford for the Yankees and Jim O'Toole for the Reds. 3 balls, 2 strikes. As Purkey in action again. He delivers. There's a ball hit in the ground to Coleman, who flipped it off to Purkey, who tagged first base, and Berra is out. The first baseman to the pitcher. The score is 3-2. The Yankees are leading with 2 out in the top of the 9th inning. The Yankees with 3 runs, 6 hits, and an error. The Reds with 2 runs, 7 hits, and no errors. The batter now is Elston Howard. He doubled off the center field fence back in the 5th inning. Well, the Reds infield will go back for him. They're playing him very deep. All the way back now, especially with 2 away. He's a right-handed batter, Elston Howard. That left foot is up close to the plate. The right one dropped back. As Purkey throws now outside. 1 ball, 1-0 on Howard. One ball, no strikes. Purkey's bending forward, getting his signals again. Here he goes. He pitches. Strike 1. Foul tip, that one. 1 ball, 1 strike. One and 1. Purkey's taking signals again. He's winding, twisting around, throwing. Strike 2. Howard chased a low knuckleball. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 1 and 2. I would say for the most part that great part that this boy Edwards so far has been handling those knuckleballs of Purkey pretty deftly. I mean, he's done a good job on that. That's a tough pitch to catch. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Purkey working, throwing. There's a ball bounced down to Coleman, who made a nice stop over near the line, tossed again to Purkey, and Howard is out at first. So in the 9th inning, the Yankees grabbed the lead on that home run by Roger Maris. The Yankees had in that inning 1 run, 1 hit, no one left on. They have 3 runs, 6 hits, and 3 left on to show for 9 turns at bat. And the score right here, the New York Yankees have 3 runs, 6 hits, and 1 error. The Cincinnati Reds, 2 runs, 7 hits, no errors. And now the Reds are faced with a tremendous task. The bottom end of their batting order coming up. The bottom end coming up in Freese, Edwards, and Purkey. Consequently, there'll probably be some pinch hitters along the line here. And it will be perhaps Cardenas, who may bat for Edwards, or Purkey, one or the other. So we may see some pinch hitters with Gurnett and those fellows coming up now. The paid attendance here today, 32,589. 32,589. So Louis Arroyo, the Yankee expert relief pitcher, the left-hander, is taking a few warm-up throws. The Yankee bullpen has a couple of right-handers warming up. Jim Brosnan has been warming up in the Reds bullpen. So Gene Freese is just scraping at the dirt. The umpire is dusting off the plate. The last of the 9th inning here at Crosley Field is about to start, with the Yankees leading 3-2. The Yankees have 3 runs and 6 hits. The Reds have 2 runs and 7 hits. All right, here we go. The Yankee outfield playing very deep. Boyer, the third baseman, along the line somewhat. The pitch now to Freese. Freese fouled the ball. He hit a sort of a half-line drive into the box seats down in left field. No balls and 1 strike. Of course, you know that Freese is going for the long. When he broke his bat on that one, that was a split bat foul. And the Cincinnati volunteer bugler down there behind first base playing charge. Freeze up. Arroyo taking the signs again from Elston Howard. Arroyo working. Pitching. That's inside. That's ball one and strike one on Freeze. 1-1. Freeze has had not a hit today. He walked in the second. He flied out to left in the fourth. He flied out to left again in the seventh. The left fielder is Vada. He flied out to Yogi a couple of times. Arroyo pitching. Freeze hit a fly ball out in left field, but there's another foul ball, and that's into the grandstand again, and there's another broken bat. So with two swings, Freeze has broken two bats. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The Yankees have 3 runs and 6 hits. The Cincinnati Reds 2 runs and 7 hits. The Reds were leading until the 8th inning when a home run by Blanchard tied the score, and then a home run by Roger Maris leading off the 9th inning put the Yankees out in front 3-2. So Arroyo is checking with his catcher again. Mantle up on the terrace and is in left center. Arroyo pitching. There's a ball bounced foul. It's rolled into the Cincinnati bench over there to the left. 1 ball and 2 strikes. They're giving Freeze pretty much of center field. They're not covering that territory so much because they are confident that Freeze is trying to hit the ball off that screening atop the left field wall. Another pitch. Strike 3 is through the fastball, and Freeze took a cut and struck out. That's Arroyo's second strikeout. And 7 Cincinnati Reds have struck out today. The starting pitcher, Bill Stafford, struck out 5 Cincinnati Reds. Arroyo has fanned 2. Now the batter will be Leo Cardenas. Cardenas is the batter. Cardenas has had no hits in the series so far. During the season, Cardenas batted .308 during the season. And in this series, he's been up once as a pinch hitter. The pitch to him now is low, ball 1. The New York Yankees, with 1 out in the bottom of the 9th, have 3 runs, 6 hits, and an error. The Cincinnati Reds have 2 runs, 7 hits, no errors. As Arroyo pitches, there's a ball driven out in deep left center, and it hit the scoreboard, and Cardenas has a 2-base hit. That ball curved around. It started for the flagpole, and had it not curved, it would have been over the center field fence. But the ball started a curve. It was aimed dead at the flagpole in left center at the 383-foot mark, and had it not curved, it would have gone over. But there's a 2-base hit for Cardenas as a pinch hitter, and it puts the tying run for the Reds on second base. The New York Yankees are leading 3-2 with 1 out in the bottom of the 9th inning, and Dick Gurnett is at the plate. He's been up once in this series, and it was on Gurnett that Boyer made that very brilliant stop. Gus Bell is on deck. Gurnett batting in the 9th inning. 1 man out, the tying run on second for Cincinnati. The pitch to Gurnett is inside low, ball 1. So the fans are all excited here now, and promptly so. Cardenas on second base. The Yankee outfield playing Gurnett as a dead left field hitter. The infield deep to the left. Another pitch to Gurnett. Gurnett took it outside low. 2 balls and no strikes. Blassingame is due at the plate after Gurnett, but Gus Bell has the bat in the batter's circle. This is 1 out in the bottom of the 9th inning. The pitch down to Gurnett. Gurnett grounded a foul down to Otero, coaching at third base. With one out in the bottom of the ninth inning, the New York Yankees have 3 runs, 6 hits, and an error. The Cincinnati Reds, 2 runs, 8 hits, and no errors. Two balls and a strike on Gurnett as Arroyo looks his batter over. The left-hander ready to pitch. He does. That's too low, and that's ball 3. 3 balls and a strike. 3-1 on Gurnett. Arroyo studying his batter now. 3-1 count on the batter. The pitch to the plate. The ball bounced over the head of the pitcher, out toward back of second. The throw to first. Gurnett is out at first base, just out. And Cardenas did not dare to come over to third. He remained at second as Kubek went over back of second, made a fine play, and got Gurnett at first base. 2 away now for Cincinnati, and Gus Bell is the man right now who stands between the Cincinnati Reds and a possible loss. The Yankees have 3 runs and 6 hits. The Reds have 2 runs and 8 hits. Gus Bell is the batter, batting for Blasingame. Chacón is still at second. This is Bell's first time at bat in the series. During the season, Gus Bell batted .255 with 3 home runs and 33 runs batted in. Bell batting left-handed. Cardenas on second, 2 out. The bottom of the ninth. The pitch to Gus. Gus hit a ball off the hand of Arroyo. Arroyo picked it up through to first. The game is over, and the Yankees have won the 3rd game of the World Series, 3-2. And so the final score is the New York Yankees, 3 runs, 6 hits, 1 error. The Cincinnati Reds, 2 runs, 8 hits, and no errors. In a moment, we'll review the highlights of the game for you.
Don't miss your chance to win a brand new 62 Chrysler Corporation car. Stop in at your dealers now and sign up to win one during October open house. Plymouth, Valiant, Dodge Dart, Lancers, Chryslers, Imperial. 180 brand new cars are offered free, and one of them may be yours. If you own a car, any make or model, any year, all you have to do to qualify is come in, see the complete rules, and register with any authorized dealer who sells Plymouth, Valiant, Dodge, Lancer, Chrysler, or Imperial. That's all there is to it, and you may win one of 180 beautiful 1962 Chrysler Corporation cars. But be sure to register at your dealers by October 31st. You can't win unless you do. Free car offer void in Nebraska, Wisconsin, Florida, Canada, and wherever else prohibited by law.
Looks like it's gonna be a Chrysler year.
And now Bob Wolff will review the highlights of the game for you.
Right, Waite. And there are some strange and unusual proceedings in this afternoon's thriller all the way. Strange but true is the fact that Roger Maris, with his first hit of the series, won the ball game for the New York Yankees with a 9th-inning homer. They give the Yankees their 3-2 victory. And also, unusual and certainly exciting to all the fans is the fact that Cardenas almost tied the ball game with a long blast which was high up off the scoreboard. It started out as it was going over that 18-foot wall, but it curved and hit up, let's say about 48 feet or 50 feet up against that 55-foot scoreboard and toppled down into play, and Cardenas ended up with a 2-base hit. That was close, but not quite close enough, as the Yankees once again used their home run strength first to tie the ball game with a Blanchard pinch hit home run, and then Maris, who had gone 0 for 10 in the series, and in the 7th that hit the ball out of the infield for the first time, showed that he was now drawing a bead on those right field seats by coming up in the 9th and putting one up into the sun deck for the home run which won the ball game 3-2. It made a winning pitcher out of Louis Arroyo in relief, and it was a heartbreaking loss for Bob Purkey. Arroyo had been preceded by Stafford, who started, and Daly, who came on in the 7th, Arroyo in the 8th, and Purkey was the loser. Another well-pitched ball game by both sides, and perhaps one might note that the New York Yankees now have a total of 7 runs in the series, and with a total of 7 lead 2 games to 1. So they've had maximum use out of their runs. And all of their runs so far in the series, except one this afternoon, the result of home runs. Here's how the scoring went today. In the ball game, the first run went to Cincinnati. That came in the bottom half of the 3rd inning. It came with Elio Chacón, who's been one of the standouts, coming up with a bunt single. The throw by Stafford was wild past first base, and Chacón moved on to second. He moved over to third on Pinson's ground out and scored on Robinson's blast, which was up against the base of the wall in deep left field, driving in the first run for Cincinnati this afternoon. So the Reds led 1-0 at the end of the 3rd, but the Yankees came back to tie it in the top of the 7th. Kubek led off the inning with a single move to second on a pass ball, and then Ferris sent a ball into short, right field. Chacón went racing back. Robinson came in. Chacón just barely did get his glove on it. Robinson was coming in. Chacón tumbled to the ground as Kubek came over to score on the base hit to make it a 1-1 ball game. In the bottom half of the 7th, Eddie Kasko put the Reds back in front by a score of 2-1. And incidentally, 3 times now the Yankees have given up intentional walks. 3 times it's backfired. Twice in New York Thursday when Gene Freese was walked to get to Johnny Edwards. Today when left-hander pinch hitter Jerry Lynch was walked to get to right-hander Kasko. He came through with a hit to give the Reds their temporary lead. But then Blanchett came up in the 8th inning as a pinch hitter, and on the first pitch got a pinch hit home run to tie the ball game at 2-2. And then Maris, leading off the 9th, got his home run, and that proved to be the winning run by a score of 3-2 in the ball game. So that's the story, and tomorrow will be Whitey Ford against Jim O'Toole as the excitement continues then. That wraps up the 3rd 1961 World Series game. Our engineer has been Harry Alexander. Our producer, Len Dillon. And now this is Bob Wolff speaking for Waite Hoyt.